Katie, let it out with Katie. Let it out with Katie Dalebout, enthusiast and curator of people and ideas you need to hear.
Hey guys, welcome back. You are listening
welcome back to the podcast. You are listening to Let It Out with me.
Today
I'm your host,
on the podcast,
Katie Dalebout.
a little bit different. Another
today
in-person
I have
interview,
Julie
which I'm hoping
Pyatt back
to
on the
do
podcast. She was one of my first guests
exclusively now.
a while ago,
We'll
back
see.
in
Probably not
2013
exclusively,
when I first
but
started this.
Now that I'm in New York,
And
I'm
she's
doing
great. We
most
talk
of
about
them
community,
in
we
person,
talk about
which is so
social
much
media,
fun,
we
and
talk
I think
about
adds
hosting and
an additional
family and
element of realness
plant-based
that
cheese,
I really like.
because
So
that's what her
this
book,
one
This
was
Cheese is
recorded
Nuts, is
my
all about.
second day
We talk
in
about
New York,
aging, we
I
talk
think. It
about
was also
mothering, we talk
my
about
boyfriend's birthday,
raising children and
Nick, who you'll hear
unschooling
in this
and
episode.
plant-based
This isn't
food
a get to know
and
my boyfriend
eating,
episode. He's
and
just kind of in it.
she's
We'll
just
do that
really
another time,
great. I
but
like her a lot
you'll
as a
hear him
person.
ask
She's
like a funny
really
question
cool.
at the end.
Happy
about
4th of
tomatoes
July
that
week. I moved
if you
again
stick
this
around
weekend.
after the outro, I left
And I just
it
have a
in,
funny
but
story to tell you
anyway,
about
the point is
what happened yesterday.
This episode features
So by yesterday, I mean
Chef
2 days ago,
Chris
from the day I'm
Zabita,
recording
who
this.
is the
I was
executive
moving,
chef
and we
at
bring
Cafe
everything
Society in Greenwich
We
Village.
went up a million flights of stairs. We took a million trips. It was the hottest day maybe ever.
Lovely, and she
and
invited me to
everything was
come
great.
and
I
check
get
it out
everything
and sample
unpacked,
the
and we're
food
about to leave
because
for the day.
he
We're
does
about to
something
go get
really cool.
dinner.
Instead of
We're very
being
excited.
a farm-to-table restaurant,
And next thing we
he's
know,
a
I'm
market
just
to table
reaching for
restaurant
my,
because he lives-
yellow
well,
backpack.
he
That's
doesn't
my
live
purse.
at the
It's also
hotel.
a children's
The
size
restaurant's
backpack,
within the Walker
so no one would
Hotel
even
in
know it's a
Greenwich
purse.
Village, and
And
the
it has my
hotel/restaurant
wallet and
is
everything important
really
in it.
close to the
And
Union
it's gone.
Square
We can't
Farmers
find it
Market,
anywhere.
which we talk about
We
a
think
lot in this
maybe we
episode
left
because
it in the lift.
that's where he draws
on
his inspiration.
the way to the move.
So
we think
cute.
maybe
He loves going
we
to the
left it on the
market more
street
than
and somebody
anything else
accidentally
about
threw
his
it
job,
away
and
in
he
the
gets so
trash
excited
can.
by
We looked
the
everywhere.
produce
We
there
looked under the
that's
bed. We looked at
what really
everybody's bags.
dictates the dishes.
And it's gone.
And
we were fully
Anyway, I loved this conversation.
Sure that
it was so
gone.
much fun.
We called the
and
Lyft
it's
driver.
kind
We
of a
thought maybe
shorter
we left it
episode,
there. My
maybe a
Instagram
different
story
episode
came
than what
in
you're used to,
very
but
handy
hopefully
because
you like it,
we could figure
and
out it wasn't
next week's
at the
episode,
last
I'm
place
really
I was
excited
staying
about.
because
I'm excited about this one too, but I'm
we
really
saw that it
excited
was
about
gone.
next week's
And
episode.
we saw that it was
I'll
in
tell you who's coming
the
up on the
Lyft
show
drive with
next
us
week
because
after this episode,
as I
if
was,
you stick around
just
to the very,
documenting
very
my life
end.
on my Instagram
So
story.
I'll tell you the emoji.
There it
tweet
is,
at me,
the yellow
which I've
backpack,
just
the
been loving.
chartreuse
It's like the
backpack.
secret club we have
And
where I got
it's
last
gone.
week. I got
It's
so
not
many
there.
red backpacks.
So we go to Target.
Which was so funny.
Luckily,
because of
my
funny story
boyfriend
about
Nick
Phantom
was
losing
here.
my wallet and my backpack.
And
that
so
I
we
told
just
at
had
the
to pay
beginning
for
of
my
last
lifestyle,
week's
and we
episode.
got
So
a
anyway,
good dinner.
if you
I
wanna
had a
stick
good
around to hear
attitude.
that,
Everything was
stay till
good.
the
It
end.
just we kind of were
If
like,
not,
okay,
that's
it's
cool
gone.
too. Thank you guys
So
so
I
much
put a
for
hold on my
listening.
credit
Again,
cards,
this podcast,
all my different cards.
favorite thing I've ever
Everything's
done,
great.
ever.
Not great, but it's
So
like,
I
well,
hope you
it
like
is what
this
it is.
episode.
And
We
the
talk
next morning,
about
I was like
food,
a
but
little
we
bit
also
upset
talk
because I was like,
about
this is a lot to deal
no
with. I have to
waste
change all my
dinners,
accounts.
and we talk about
We go through the day thinking it's gone. I fully cancel all my cards. I pay for rush delivery of the new cards.
Very competitive.
We
and
have to
we
go
spoke
all the
about
way
that.
uptown so I can get
We spoke
cash
about being
at
a
this
home
credit
chef and
union,
being
blah, blah,
creative
blah.
in the kitchen. We
And
spoke
then,
about cooking trends.
After all of this,
I got some
hours
advice
later,
for home
what was I even
cooks.
grabbing from
We
the
talked about his
closet?
cooking mantra,
No.
which I really think can be a mantra
That's right.
in life.
We're installing
And he
the
was just a
shoe
lovely
rack in the
person.
closet.
I hope you like this episode. You can
And
kind of
guess
feel my
what?
excitement for just getting
The
to
yellow
New York, which
backpack
hasn't
was just
dwindled at
hanging
all.
out
I'm
right
still
there in the closet,
equally
plain
excited
as day.
about being here.
I don't even think I said any
And,
words to
yeah,
you
thank
when
you
I
guys
picked
so
it
much
up.
for
It was behind
listening.
the dress,
And
I
I'll
think.
talk
It was
to you
behind the
at
dress, so
end,
maybe
but
not plain
first,
as day, but it
a
was in
couple
the closet.
announcements. I want to talk about the sponsors.
And I come out, and I didn't even say any words. I just said,
it comes out Wednesday.
I just showed you it, and
3
you
days
fell
from
down
now,
onto the
4
ground.
days from now,
Yeah, I
I will
laid down
be
for a
in
while.
Philly.
We both
I'm
just
going
laid down, and we laughed
Philadelphia
super hard.
back. I was
And then
there
I called all
speaking
my
at the
credit
Food
cards
Fest, and I
again
made
to
so
tell
many
them that they
friends.
didn't need to be
One of them
canceled.
being
And actually,
my
please
friend
don't
Chris,
cancel them because
who
then
is
I have
the
to change all
founder
my
of
accounts.
Franklin and Whitman,
Anyway, I
which
just
is
thought it
this
was the
amazing
funniest story
all-natural
that's
skincare
maybe ever
line.
happened to me.
And he is having
Probably
an event
hearing it doesn't sound funny at
there
all, but
called
now I
Self-Care
promise I'm going to
Sunday,
get to
and
the
it's going
episode
to
with
be
Julie
a
Pyatt, which I
yoga
think you
and
guys will really
skincare
like.
event
Again,
that my
take
friend
it
Kate
in,
is doing a skincare
take what you
demo,
want, leave the
and
rest.
There's a yoga class.
No judgment on what you're eating, whether it's plant-based, whether it's not, but just, listen to this, find some new ideas maybe. She's really cool. I like her a lot. I actually got to record this in person in Soho at this very cool apartment that I got to go to. And she made me dinner after, and it was lovely, and I got to hang out with her and Leia, who's her photographer and her assistant. She took all the photos in her new book, and
I'm excited to be back.
We just had a really great girls' night in. It was lovely. All right, so before we get to the episode, we have to talk about the amazing sponsors. First of all, Care Of. You know Care Of. You love Care Of. We're all unique people with unique bodies, and we have different needs, and that's what makes us so great and special. And Care Of understands that. That's why they create a simple solution that makes taking vitamins and finding your body's unique vitamin combination really easy and actually really fun. If you go to their website, takecareof.com, you take a simple quiz. It asks you questions about your lifestyle, your energy levels, your stress levels, and it comes up with this really great curated package of vitamins that you can take that are great for you.
Let it out in the How Did You Hear About Us
in this week's
section.
episode, we talk about motherhood.
How Did You Hear About Us
There's
section.
something new with Care Of, and this is really cool. They have new prenatal and pregnancy packets that are formulated based on where your body is at in the process of pre, during, or post-pregnancy. And whether you're trying to get pregnant or you're currently pregnant or breastfeeding, these vitamins are great for you in that stage. They're easy on the stomach, and they have minerals specific to the hormone and nutrient needs for you at this time that you're going through. So go to takecareof.com now to get your personalized recommendation and use the code Katie, that's my name, Katie, at checkout for 50% off your first order. That's 50%. That is half of the percent.
You can try it for free.
Anyway, check them out. I love Care Of.
Let it out. And
we love them.
The code
okay.
Let it out in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
We have a new sponsor this week.
Okay.
They're called
Another
Dalebout,
one of my favorite sponsors.
I love them.
They're amazing.
I'm obsessed with them. I think they're great. And I can't wait for you guys to hear what they are. So listen, I love them. They are this really cool company
use these
that is totally changing the way you experience your period. They make it easy for your body and your self-care during that time of the month, and they use all natural products, and they get them to you at the lowest price.
And for a limited
time, we're all people living our lives, being conscious of what we put in our bodies. We're probably being conscious of our skincare now with, chemicals.
Let it out.
But what about what you put in your vagina? You got to be careful of that, right?
And the great thing about it is that they also have a 60-day,
yeah, he agrees.
100% money-back guarantee.
The FDA doesn't accurately, they don't actually at all. They don't regulate what goes into tampons. So there's a lot of chemicals and bleach and pesticides and chlorine. And we're putting that into our vaginas, the most absorbent part of our body, and it has a direct link to our reproductive organs. So, Dalebout ships 100% organic cotton. They use nothing else, no toxins, no dyes, no synthetic materials, and they deliver to your body and yourself this monthly box at a super low cost, so that way you never have to run out of tampons. The time of the month comes and you're not having your tampons. That's always a pain. You have to go to the store.
Middle of September.
But here's the thing.
Okay, so that's fairly recent.
It's not just tampons and pads or whatever you need for your specific period that you pick, but it's also a comfort box with goodies and fun things that make this time of the month better for you, which I love. We all need things like tea and chocolate and things to just make us feel better during that time, and they know that, so they create this curated box. It's lovely. But here's the reason that I really, really, really love them, guys. Do you remember getting your first period?
Tell you anything.
What is your name?
You probably do.
It was
probably traumatic. I hope it wasn't, but it's likely that it might have been.
And we're at the Walker Hotel.
But this is the thing about Dalebout. They're changing the way that girls experience their first period.
I did not.
So this is great for maybe your own kids, maybe your sisters, maybe your nieces, maybe your neighbors, maybe any other girls in your life starting their periods. These first period boxes include
my whole story, my backstory,
an educational guide with the top quality products for this time of the month, and also comforting items like we talked about before. And it has everything that they need to experience their first period in a more mindful way and help them reduce fear and anxiety around having a menstrual cycle. And you can even get it to them before their first period to help educate and fill the gap of not knowing what this new part of their body is doing. Anyway, I love Lbox. Check them out. That was kind of long, but I just wanted to explain all of it. Go to lboxco.com/Katie. Just follow the link in the show notes, but it's lboxco.com/Katie. That's my name. And that's how you're going to get your first essential box free.
Oh my God.
Absolutely free. You don't even have to pay for it. So you might as well try it. You know what? Congratulations to you on your new free L-Box and your 50% off your Care of supplement. And now I'm going to finally let you listen to Julie Pyatt. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I'll talk to you at the end with the emoji.
Stressed out. And you have to really work your way up and start at the bottom. Is that kind of what you were doing in Tribeca? And how did you kind of...
Of course. Are you kidding? It's so fun to meet you in person. I almost can't believe that I hadn't met you in person because I feel like I did.
I know. It was so chill just like coming over here, and I wasn't like nervous to meet a new person, or it was just felt like,
glossed over that little like
exactly.
Well, I think I kind of
no, it's perfect. It's great. So I'm glad we could fit it in. You're
right.
I assumed. Wait, you used to live here, right?
I should say. Sorry.
I thought when you were in fashion, you lived here.
No, but I like that dream.
That's like somewhere.
No, I was a fashion designer in LA, and I lived in Paris.
Oh, that's
I was like,
for
whatever, I just
some
wanted to
time
foot in the
when
door.
I was
I
in
wanted to get in and do whatever I could.
That's
So
when I
did
became
it.
a cheese expert.
My buddy Tony,
That's what
Chef
gave
Tony,
me the foundation.
I've known
No,
him
I'm just saying that, but
like 17 years now.
We'll get into
that's the tie-in.
He was able to help me out.
We'll get into all that.
Yeah,
So
cool.
before we get
more
into
of, like, it was a
cheese
steakhouse, it was fine
in your
dining
book
restaurant,
and
one of the resorts.
everything that's
So
happened
that was
since
exciting. And
2013
then after
and
about 2 years in
our
that
last
place, I
podcast
said,
Yeah.
what's
and
next? Like, I've done
everything
everything
that's going to
here,
happen in the future.
or as much as I was going to be able to
I've
do.
been
So
really
what's
liking
next?
starting
So then I moved to this
this
place
podcast
called
with the
Victoria and
present.
Albert's. It's in the Grand
what
Floridian
have
Resort
you
in
been
Disney. And
thinking and
it's a
feeling,
AAA $5
realizing,
restaurant, so there's like a lot of
contemplating in, like,
intensive
the
going on
last
there.
day
But in
or
each
week
spot,
of Super
I
Week?
constantly was
This
like,
is actually a really
you-
good question. It's
until you get to a certain level,
we're having a
you're always
discussion
having to go back
actually
and start
with
over.
some
So in other
friends of
words,
ours,
like,
Mariana
always,
and Colin,
when you take a
who
job as a
are
line cook
Colin's a
in
tea
another
master that we
restaurant,
take
no
with
matter how
us
far
on
along the way
retreats.
you've come, like, you're like, okay, I kinda
When
have
Rich
to go back
and I
go
do
back
our
to being
week-long retreats
just
in
the
Europe
full
and
appetizer guy,
Ireland and Italy.
relearning the whole kitchen all
And
over
the other person
until
is
you get
one
to a
of
certain
the
point in
people
your
who
career.
came on the
So, like, it
retreats
really is like that stressful
as
environment of,
an
like,
attendee,
proving yourself
and
over and over and over
she
again.
and Colin
then,
fell in
like,
love,
you're
and
here,
now they're in a
and I kinda had
relationship.
that as
Really?
well.
Yeah,
I just
so
came
and
to a
they
fortunate
live
situation
part-time
where
in
I went to
Miami,
that
so I was
relationship.
just in.
It was
It was
unfortunate
sweet.
in
It's
the
our
sense
first
that,
love, kind of real love
he was
connection.
looking
There's
for a
lots
couple
of deep
cooks.
friendships
The
and
line
great
cooks
business
that
things
were
going
there
on, but our first love
were
connection.
pretty good.
So Rich and I
But
feel like
had
little
no idea,
parents
I
of
think.
our
Also,
little
like,
that we fostered this.
we-
But
I
anyway,
was
so we were in
fortunate
Miami,
that
and
he
I
also
had
loved- he all
my
of a
book
sudden, like, I
launch.
was there
I had a
for
big dinner,
maybe
sit-down dinner at
6 or
Sacred
7
Space
months
for
before he
70
became,
people.
an Iron Chef.
It was
So, like,
extraordinary.
now
Maybe
also,
we'll get
like,
into
here's
that
this-
later.
here's this restaurant,
But
which
I'm
went
bringing
from
this
doing
up because what's been
90
up
covers on a
for
Friday
me
night
this
to
week, and we've
190
had
covers
extensive
on Friday night. So
conversations
now we're,
about
like,
it,
super
is
busy. So that was
really
cool
what is
because,
the
like,
downside of
I
social
kinda, like,
media.
was just kinda
And
thrown
I
into
think
it.
you and I
You know,
talked
you're one of
about
the guys
this
that
because
were
I
here
asked you how
not from
you
the
were
very beginning
feeling
of the
about
restaurant,
it.
but
I think the
was here when it
second
was, like,
interview
slower,
that we
quieter
had.
times. And now
And,
here I am, like,
you know, we were,
like, we need
you know,
somebody
every
who's,
once in a
like,
while I'll
who's
look at
good. And I
Leia
already
when
kinda learned
we're,
most
you know,
of
the
the
middle
so,
of,
like,
you know,
it was-
Insta storying
you know,
or
just,
taking
like,
photos
boom,
or
you're there,
on
getting,
Instagram.
you know,
Yeah.
it was
And
good.
I'll
That
just
was
say,
helpful.
like,
Was he a
like,
mentor
are there
of
like
yours?
advanced
A huge
beings
mentor.
that are just looking
He,
down on us, and they're saying, and
So,
look at them,
Tony
they ran
Luca,
around
like I
with their
mentioned,
phones
he was
and
one
took
of the first
pictures of
chefs that I
themselves,
worked for
and
that
they
I
were
would say is a mentor.
putting
I
all
still
this
talk to
energy
Tony
into this
on a
one
regular
thing
basis.
That was on-
because they
That's
didn't
in Disney,
understand
yeah.
they
I
could
talk
just
to him on a regular
meditate,
basis,
or they
and
didn't
he really does
understand
help me
they
out,
could
like, gives
just,
me a lot of
you know,
guidance.
just
But
sort of
because of the
be.
proximity to-
And you know,
to
obviously,
Fort Dearden here
Rich
in
is
the
very
city,
present on
being
social
only,
media,
you know,
and I
a few
am
blocks
too
basically from
now,
Tribeca.
especially with my
Being able to
book.
go down there
And
anytime I wanted
of
to
course,
talk to him,
without it,
that's a
we
huge
would never
difference.
have
Like,
met.
Now, like,
I wouldn't be having
he
this
is a huge
interview
mentor
with
for
you.
me.
But
To
we
get
were
to, like,
talking
just
about
always, like, bounce things
what
off
is
of
that
him,
balance and
ask
what is
for
that
advice.
fine line.
It's
And
so much fun. Like,
I was
go
talking
stopping by
about
just for a drink or
how
something on a
just
Friday night,
Insta
when
storying
he's
or
there,
sharing
having
things
a, you know,
because,
like,
just
they throw food out
because
towards you,
everybody's
like,
doing
it's
it.
awesome. It's just fun to see it, you
I
know.
can
That's,
feel
like,
this
that's
huge
inspirational in its own.
energetic garbage
And then,
dump
like, after I eat it,
energetic waste that's being projected into the collective.
Which one was that idea?
And then Colin was offering, he's a physician of Chinese medicine.
Yes, he ate here.
Very amazing meditator.
So we opened this restaurant in November.
Master.
We actually opened this restaurant
and
on my
he was
birthday,
saying, we were reflecting about how everybody is so on their phones.
But he came here shortly
They're
after
not even
that,
experiencing
middle
the
of December,
moment that's happening.
And I just sent a bunch of stuff out to him. And
that's what's been on my mind. And I have some thoughts about it and wanted to write about it. And of course, I just finished 8 weeks of a full-on push, for my cheese book. And you create this amazing, asset or creative expression. And in order to really say to myself that I did everything to nurture that project, I was required to do what I did. However,
you need to do this.
there was a lot of discernment in what I did and how I was doing it. And I think we did a pretty good job. Probably not perfect.
Where do you draw inspiration from?
But we tried to do things that were only in organic alignment with me and what I was doing in order to spread the word. And and then you run into people. People came to my book signing at Books and Books, and they're like, "Oh, I wish I would have known about your dinner in Miami." And I'm thinking, "Are you serious?" Like I was so sensitive to over posting about it, and then you have people that are like, "Oh, I wish I could have come."
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's really been up for me, and it was up for me a long time ago when I was sharing with you because I was listening to one of my great spiritual allies, Lisa Renee, today, and she was talking about this.
You also get inspired by
this condition by, we'll just say, energy that don't want humans to wake up, and it's this tactic of distract them, keep them focused on something else rather than spiritual evolution, rather than transformation. It's almost like look here, not here. And I think where we experienced that, at least in my world, was with the Trump election, and this concept of alternative news. So we're watching something on our social channels, thinking there's a specific reality, when in fact a lot of that is being curated to a specific viewpopoint. And the danger of that is that.
Thank you so much.
I use this analogy.
For everyone listening, drinks have arrived. It's like I am a pour yourself a drink wherever you are.
Like I will go to Vegas and sit at a table. It's only happened like twice in my life.
Farmers market.
But I will gamble and be so happy, and I will think that I'm winning, and I'm not winning. I'm losing.
Is it like a really great one?
So it was that same analogy that I had. I just had this awareness, like, and so I'm not saying that I have the answer. Like I said, I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'm telling you it's really got my attention. And so when I share, I make sure that it means something,
and they come every week.
that it's for a reason. And I'm also aware that when I'm sharing, I'm being tracked. There's some kind of devices that are pulling information from you and creating some sort of system. I mean, I read some article after Trump was elected, and it was about the companies that actually gathered the social media information and actually got him elected. That's what this article was saying. And do you know they can track even your cadence, how you walk when you hold your phone? So
that is the best one.
It's like a media data, company, and they can. So that's how specific it is. And now we have this whole pushing of this AI, this artificial intelligence that's encroaching. And so listen, all I'm saying is, cultivate your spiritual connection. Like that is the number one thing. And sometimes I look at Rich and I go, what if the whole thing blew up tomorrow? Then what?
I've walked around and seen
then what would be relevant in our lives? So again, I mean, I've connected with thousands of people. I mean, we travel all over the world and people stop us everywhere. And it's deeply meaningful. It's not that it's not, and I know you get this too.
I'm sure they do too.
But I guess it's just up for me, and I think because I was so in it for this 8 weeks, I'm discerning and using discernment to determine where I put my energy.
I don't really know much
about
the
kitchen. What are you doing?
What is
why are you doing it? And is it in the highest divine alignment?
Obviously, one is like the boss.
It's not easy.
Well, I think
handle that.
Like people taking notes, and myself when I listen to this again, like those three things you said, you can just have those in the back of your mind to kind of check yourself before you post something. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot, which I would love your opinion on. Is for me, since I kind of use social media in these two ways, and like when my book was coming out, like I totally know how you feel, because I was like, all right, I worked really hard on this thing, took me a lot of time, and a lot of people helped me with it, so I have to do my best to promote it and show people that it exists in the world. Like that's my obligation to this project.
I hope that energy.
And so in that way, I felt like I was promoting things. But then that was like over a year ago. And before that, and since then, I've really looked at social media like I did since I grew up with it when I was in high school, or when I was like younger than that, or high school really. As it's really just like a scrapbook to share my life. And I kind of just forgot about. And I still, when a new podcast episode is up, of course, I'm going to be like, hey, I got to talk to Julie Pyatt or whoever it was, because I want people to hear it, because it was genuinely an important thing in my life. But I think I'm looking at social media as this is a way for me to remember, kind of like a gratitude journal of my day. That's kind of how I look at stories, at least on Instagram. I'm like, okay, I ate this really great acai bowl in the morning, and then I went to this class, and then I got to hang out with Julie, and we did this or whatever, and then I can like watch it at the end of the day and be like, wow, those are some really beautiful moments. But I think I need to be checking myself of like, if that's my intention, then that's okay. But also like, am I showing, why do I need to show this to other people then? And I think part of that is like, well, sometimes I do like showing it to other people, because then that way it can make it last longer. Just kind of like when something good happens, I want to like call my mom, or I want to like call my best friend just to make it stay in it longer. I don't know, I'm just wrestling with like those two ways of using it. Does that make sense?
I mean, I love your analogy. I think that's a beautiful analogy and example to use it as a gratitude journal. I think that's a very conscious way to look at it.
I don't necessarily think like.
I guess I would ask you, are you not calling your mom then?
I don't have that. Like,
yeah.
It's not that, like,
so not that we should call our overcall our moms or anything. You get the point. The point is are we really missing our life? Are we living to photograph every single thing we do, and we never just sit down and just be in the moment? And I notice it, being the mom of children. And it's interesting because my children, I wonder if my children are going to be like completely not want to be on social media, which they kind of do. Like my sons, they deleted their Facebook pages like years ago, but now they're coming out with an album and they're starting to step back, step in for that reason to promote their music. But they just think it's just not cool.
Yeah, so many people in my life feel like that too. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting. It's an interesting thing. Well, this is one of the things I try to accommodate people in that way. Anyway, but I think it kind of ties into social media. You and Rich and your family are so huge about community, and it really inspires me.
There are some like things where people might get a little crazy.
I think that it's something I really admire about you guys, and I really feel the importance of community in my life. Like when I went to a retreat earlier this year, or just like having close relationships with people where I used to live, and then now that I moved, and
there's a difference in like
so that's like the most important thing I think for health. So can you talk about how you cultivated
coming
that,
from someone who is one of those.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and I mean, and we're going to get back to this double-edged sword because it was created through social media.
Like,
I mean, that's the truth of the matter. And when
like,
we were
really have to avoid,
literally in financial collapse, it was social media that actually kept us going.
Like,
we would be breaking down, sobbing in Starbucks, and suddenly we would get a tweet from somebody.
Because I know
we called them Twitter dates at the time, and we started connecting with people that we admired, people that were kind of leaders, in our world, the people that we looked up to, athletes, Rich never thought he would be speaking to or even having dinner with, and we met some very key people during that time. So again, I'm not saying that. I mean, social media is great. It's connected us with community, and we started to do these retreats
on my behalf, which I never like to do.
In
but
Europe.
In this situation,
and
like, well,
I had done yoga retreats
I want to have.
When I first met Rich. I did it for 10 years, and I produced
these
yoga retreats actually in Italy at this villa.
Fun experience,
and so after, and they were amazing then. I mean, they were life changing then. But we had no message, we had no book. I wasn't a chef. Like it was just kind of like yoga in Italy. Put them together. I mean, it was pretty amazing. So I knew when we launched it with our message that it was going to be profound. And we're sitting in this loft today having this interview because of the hospitality of two people that came on a retreat that they almost become like our family. Like we're really deeply connected. So we spend an entire week with them, and we do yoga every day together, run with Rich in the forest, tea ceremony, all plant-based food that I designed for the whole week, and then we have workshops both in the morning and the afternoon.
Good for you. I feel like that's rare.
About family, community,
it is, I guess. But that actually comes from my
and then I do a lot of
Disney
deeper spiritual practices.
So you take care of the guests.
It's really cool. We have an Ayurvedic practitioner who comes, and then Colin who pours tea. He does
and so
healing
sessions,
Chinese medicine healing sessions.
What are your,
and then
what's going on?
I do also a kind of multi-dimensional healing sessions as well.
I do know what you're saying though. Like,
so it's quite profound. In the last day, we have a community circle where we circle up and we make the agreement to hold the highest vision for each individual, no matter the appearances. And so we make this vow to each other, and it's pretty deep, and there's a lot of tears and a lot of beauty, and it's just quite exceptional.
Right.
So that's something that it's not easy.
Well, we've done 2 so far, and we have another retreat coming up in Ireland in 3 weeks.
Everybody's excited.
So we go July 24th to the 31st to a manor in South Cork, and it's on 90 acres.
But I don't want
and a lot of the accommodations are glamping tents.
I didn't like the scalp dish.
Right.
And it's a truly magically gorgeous place.
So it's tough. Like you have to be careful with that. But I think that actually,
that's one of the ways we create community. What happened as a result of
because I think the
trip, the first trip, we had 2 ER doctors come from Australia, and after our retreat, they decided to launch their own wellness production company, and so they brought us to Australia.
And because I've never talked to a chef about this.
2 huge events there, 500
make a lot of
people
modifications.
each one. So we did one in Melbourne and one in Sydney, and it was I played a couple songs. Rich gave his keynote. I did a meditation, and then we did a Q&A.
Even if it didn't taste
and
as
just
good
to
as
meet
maybe
everybody.
the
And
chef
again,
or
those
even
people are
like,
listening to the podcast,
great, but
and
like,
that's
at
how
least
they know
I know
us.
I'm not,
and
I
so,
didn't have any like,
this is through the medium of internet.
Like,
so we need it. We just need to make sure that we're using it and it's not using us.
It tastes really great, but it like had
I
butter,
do like
had whatever
the
it wanted
medium
on it.
of podcasting.
And so I think that's an interesting perspective of like, but I completely understand why sometimes I've gotten dishes that
everything else
didn't do what I had asked them to do, and
but this you can't really hide
because as the chef,
in a video.
I need to put this in there. It's not
with this especially, it's like
so I think it's just good for people to
when it's this long,
like everybody's trying to do their best with
the way Rich
their
does his
eating
podcast and the way I do my podcast.
Let's all be forgiving to
I don't
the
edit.
guest
It's just
and the
we
chef
have a
of
real
like everybody
conversation and
just
whatever comes up.
Also like
in that
please
today
no one write a scathing review of a
even
place if you are making modifications because
it's different.
It's the best of them.
It is the best. It really is the best. I mean, we met a couple that came in a cafe in Miami, and they were surprised. They actually wanted to see us and didn't know
that topic. I want to know more
where,
about you.
and then they ran into us.
Growing up,
and I didn't know, but the owner of the cafe, Veronica, came over and told me, and she was like, they're a podcast fan. So I made sure I went up and said hello. And they were just like, we feel like we're so close to you. And, we get that, and I know you get that as well. That's the thing of the podcast. They're like, I know you so well.
And it's kind of true. Like, whenever anyone, like, it happened just this week, we were walking down the street, and someone was like, Katie, and they actually recognized my boyfriend because I had like big sunglasses on from my Instagram stories, and she was like, I feel like I know you, and he was like, you basically do, because I'm the same on the podcast that I am in life, because it's just us talking, which is like a nice, it's a weird thing to meet people though, because they know so much about you, but you don't know anything about them, and I just want to, because I'm like, you're cool and I want to be your friend.
Exactly.
But I mean, that's us, like meeting. Like,
it's the best. I mean, these long format podcasts are the best. These ones, the way that you do it, the way Rich does it, the way that I do it. It's truly an amazing way to share information and to inspire people and just give people a little support.
Still to this day, I mean, like all my grandparents are gone, but we still to this
what
day
about with
can our own
community
tomatoes every
outside
year.
of the internet? I saw this great video that Rich did that I want to watch like multiple times. It's always been like in me somehow. And I loved it.
Like it's always been part of me.
community at your house.
Our house.
I couldn't imagine doing it.
Or living in your house, and it just seems like this fun, magical place. And I honestly feel like that just like being in your presence, like right now, like whenever I listen to you, I just feel so like nurtured and cozy. And how do you cultivate that in your home?
You'll be surprised.
Well, I mean, when we started out, sort of, we built our home in 2003. That's when we built it, and my dream was to have yoga retreats there and have a lot of yoga events. Over the years, I've had a lot of spiritual teachers there, many
he told
different traditions, a lot of Indian masters, some Native American.
It's very healthy.
I was like, that's a snack.
A tea master Buddha,
because I
who I'm
didn't like
actually going to see in
sandwiches
New
because
York
like I
on
was in the
Tuesday
free
night.
zone for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to
Yeah,
like
he's
hot
also
dogs
very-
like without.
He's
the
been
bun.
on Rich's
But
podcast
then I would
twice and
only
been
eat
on
the
my
bun and
podcast
not the
once.
hot
Yeah.
dog. I was a
So
super
Buddha's
weird
going to be
kid.
actually
we
in New
reversed
York,
because
so
as a
we're
kid
gonna
I
go
ate
sit with him
everything,
tomorrow. But,
and then now I eat like
it started out like that. I was
people do say that, though, like, people,
homeschooling,
like,
unschooling my
like,
two
you should
younger
really particular,
girls,
like,
and I had a
like,
dream
like,
to
crappy
start
food,
a
like, I would eat,
homeschool,
like,
which I think we
junk
talked
food
about
Yeah,
in the earlier episodes.
That was
Trust
a
me, I still eat
great
that stuff. Like, I
intro to that. I got so many great
Yeah.
comments.
The chef life is not like
so
So
cool.
if people
glorious as
are
you
new
think.
to the
People always
podcast
think,
and
like,
haven't listened
oh
to
my God,
that,
you're a
I'll
chef.
put it in.
Like, crazy.
Well, and
Not
so
really
I was
like,
ahead of my
but
time. I was ahead of the curve, and I had a hard time
It's so
really
interesting 'cause
getting
you're cooking this
the kids were
beautiful food for
really
people all
ready,
day long,
but
and
the
then for
parents just
yourself,
couldn't let
at the
go
end of the day.
that standardized
I mean, not that I
education
don't ever want to be in a
thing was
kitchen,
too
but
hard.
kind of like.
But now it's interesting because I have a lot of young mothers coming back around to me,
Right.
and
Dice
they're
right.
asking
You know,
me
you're just like
questions
not
they
really
want. So I
what
think
I'm into. But
you
now,
guys are
like,
going to do it. The
as
next
I got
generation
older,
are going to do it.
I started to
It was a
experiment
little
with
too
that, like,
much
just kind of,
for
let's
my
taste some more food,
contemporaries.
let's see some more
However,
things. And the more kitchens I worked
because
in,
I had
the
that
more
feeling and that
exotic,
kind
I
of
guess,
way of
ingredients I was
being,
exposed
I really
to.
felt that we
Now
could
I
do
don't
more
care.
as a
It doesn't
collective
matter
than we
what
could
it is.
individually.
I
Now,
always
don't
try
get
it.
me wrong. I
So
don't
when
like
you're-
just
when you
let
have time
anybody come into my
off or when
house
you're
and
eating
like
on
pitch a
your
tent.
own, are you
It was a
a
very
foodie and, like, to explore
curated, very
restaurants? Do you kind of
specific
need to
thing.
do
It
that
would be
for
people that I had very
inspiration?
deep connection
Sort of,
with.
a little,
That
yeah. I mean,
naturally
we do
fit
have to do it for
in.
inspiration still. I
You
think
know, we
every
had
chef
Andrew
still has.
Pasquela,
We
who
like to go out and
was
see
going
what
through a
the hot
divorce,
spot
and he
is
came
or
and lived in
whatever.
his Airstream on our
And
land
see
for
what
a
they're
while,
doing.
and it was
And yes, we
perfect. We
definitely
were
draw
doing
the
a lot of
inspiration from that.
meditation and
But I do it to
spiritual
the best of my
work and
ability, too,
offering
like,
him
you know,
support
my
for a
time
couple
is
years.
always
And
somewhat limited.
my boys had
Almost
recently
kind of
lost their
something.
father. He had passed
when I
away.
do have a day
So
off,
he
I
was
try to,
another
like,
male
spend it more
influence, and
relaxing,
it just felt good to all of
go out and
us.
eat,
So that was
you know.
okay.
Now there's nice out
And then
on
in the
the
early
shore.
days, we had Stu
I'd
Bone,
rather
who
be on the beach
actually we
watching.
met on Twitter, and I
you
looked at his
cook
Twitter
for
feed and saw that he
yourself?
lived in an Airstream.
At
And,
home, if I'm going to
and we
actually
contacted
do it, like,
each other, and I invited him to come and park his Airstream, and he would just come and visit for a few days and then go. But again, it was this wonderful friendship and just a moment,
like the
you know,
person I
where
can
it
afford most.
worked.
I think
And
she's
now
the
I
person I can
have,
afford most to, like,
my
she's
boys
a
are in
really
their
good critic
20s
for
and
me.
they're recording their album in
and,
the garage, which
she
is
has
their
a
music
great talent,
studio.
so.
And my nephew also has lived with us
Lucky
for
sister.
6 or 7 years.
Yeah, she like that.
I've started saying that I have 5 kids because I
What's her
always have
favorite
to
thing?
explain, but really
I think
he's
she
with
probably
us
likes
all
when I
the
cook
time,
duck the
Harry.
most,
So
which is like my favorite thing to cook.
one of them lives in a
I-
teepee,
I-
one
I
of them
cook
lives in a
any protein,
container,
like, anything
and
wild like that, duck or
so
venison.
they're
I just like things like that.
they got
Add-
you know, one of
the
those
cook, I
shipping
think duck is the
containers,
easiest,
and
most
we
accessible.
Really?
Rich
I wouldn't think
Rich
it's
has
like-
his
as
office
a
in
home
one
cook, I
of
don't
them,
think
and
I
then
would
Trapper
want to
made a
price
bedroom out of the other one.
Duck you can
So
find super
what I'm saying is we're
that's
there,
what I would
so
think
they
more
have
for
their
myself.
friends, and we're still there.
Yeah,
And,
just, I mean,
and
I
I
cook
on
for her,
Instagram,
kinda like, it's always
yesterday
something
I was
have
in
mind,
Miami,
too,
and
like,
Leia stayed back with the
this,
girls
like,
along
you know,
with
so,
my
like, if I can
boys
recreate
and
something at
Harry.
home, if I can do it at home,
And I saw this
it's
photo
just
on
like, well,
Instagram, and they
you
were
need
all
this,
in
you need
Mathis's
that,
room, and they had
so on and so forth.
like
I
an
this part
art
of it.
night
Then, like, I
with
come
this
back to the
painter
restaurant and say,
Avery,
okay,
and so
well,
they all were
let's
painting,
try, let's
like
see where we go
age
with that, you know.
10
So
to
wait, you said you had a
26.
big family? Is it
You know,
just your
just
sister
painting
and
away.
In the
And I was
immediate
like,
family,
that's
it's
what I
small. It's
love.
just
So
my mom, dad,
it's a
myself,
creative
my sister.
way of
But
being, just
big
more of
family,
a
like,
creative
big
life.
family, like,
And
Christmas
and now the
had,
community
you know, like,
for us
grandma's
is
house,
really
like,
the podcast
when you're a
community.
kid, I
And we
think
go
you
out and we
always
do
kind of
events,
exaggerate
and
things.
we
So
always,
in my head,
you
it's
know,
always like we had
we
like
always
100
stay
people.
and we
Right,
make sure
right,
we
It may
hug
have been
every
20,
single
but
person.
in my
Take
mind,
a
there was
photo with
100,
every single
you know,
person.
people,
So
but we do have a
sometimes
huge
it's
event.
3 hours.
Do you guys still
after the
get
event
together
that
for
we're there.
holidays now? Do you
We've
And
kind of
it's
like
so
moved apart,
meaningful,
you know, okay,
and
we're not
we
always as
just
close
don't
as
take
we
it
could
for for granted at all.
Try to get together once in a while. I don't cook as often though.
Yeah, it's really
holidays.
Yeah.
So you don't like
this.
Because I was like, say that would be terrible if you're tonight. Yeah.
I'm so glad you said that.
Exactly what to call it, but it's like the word that keeps coming to mind is like hosting, like hosty. That's not even a word, but
is your mom
hostess with the mostest?
Yeah,
no.
but I feel like It's something that I really admire, and I've told you this so many times. I never say this at the top, but just I feel so connected to you. I always have for years with like, I told you this last time, the way you distill philosophies and some really like kind of high level things just goes right in for me, just like go, I don't know, no filter needed, just the way you explain things works for me. So I feel this connection with you is like, I love having I wouldn't say like drew inspiration. I like doing game nights. I like just having lots of people around me, and I feel like that's something that we have in common. But what kind of tips do you have for people listening of wanting to cultivate community in their in-person daily life? Like, what are some things that people can do to kind of like have, I don't really know. Have that feeling in their own lives?
Well, I would say the number one thing is food.
Tough one. I've definitely.
It's all about food, and I actually was kind of surprised. I didn't have chef, cookbook author on my list. It wasn't on my vision board. And I was, I have a lot of things to offer. I have music, I have spiritual techniques, and for me, it's the spiritual energy that's being transmitted, which is the core of every single thing that I do. So it's where my main focus is.
It's been a long time since I did it.
So if you were going to come to me and say, Julie, I only have an hour with you, I wouldn't cook for you. I would do a healing session for you. So that's where I focus. But I have to tell you, I was absolutely blown away at the amount of people that respond through the food. Like that's where they're able to grab, and that's the easiest conduit. And I just know, we know in spiritual tradition, to cook for people is one of the greatest blessings for the cook. It's an honor, and in every high level spiritual community, it's the very highest beings that touch the food. Because the food is living. Because I realize like mana, like fuel, like sacred energy, and so your energy of creating it affects it, and then when you eat it, so a taco is not a taco is not a taco. It depends on who made that taco, and as you start to get more and more energetically sensitive, that kind of stuff affects you. You can get a stomach ache from someone's energy, even no matter what you're eating. So what I would say, if you want to create community, start having a weekly food night.
I want to like cooking.
So,
what are some suggestions?
I would say,
animal, but like,
become a good cook. Find a couple dishes that you like. Prepare it with love. Share your food with people. Invite them into your home. Show up at their door with something that you made.
Kind of how we do it here.
It sounds really like archaic in a way.
Dishes are born by accident.
But it's really it's really the key to really solidifying and getting people to nurture, getting people to gather. And I know, I started feeding people. I started feeding Rich actually as the first experiment because he was trying to do these double Ironman races on plants, and I think I probably told in the episode before that one day he came in and I just handed him a kid and was racing out to go record my music, and he said to me, "Do you understand that I just ran a marathon?" And I was like, "Actually, no, I had zero idea that that's what you did." I just saw the door open and shut, and he came back in. So I made a decision to feed him.
We make it work. I'm going to just say that as a mantra later today. We make it work. Let's make that our
But in the course of that, in my trajectory,
but it is true. Like that's really what it comes down to.
What you can do with food.
There's no reason to be intimidated by cooking in front of a flame, or
so you said that being a chef wasn't ever on your vision board. It wasn't something that you necessarily wanted. But going back to kind of the hosting together,
just be have confidence in that.
Eating great plant-based food, and as far as I can make like the 4 things. I eat very simply, so like what I make for myself is just I'm not even really cooking. I'm just like tossing an avocado on some greens and like calling it a day. But I get very stressed out when I'm cooking for people that aren't myself. I love doing it sometimes,
so food trends in general,
sometimes it just seems
I don't necessarily keep up
overwhelming.
I don't like scour the internet for like what's
but I want to be in that place that you were in. Did you always have this like innate ability for cooking for other people, or do you think you cultivated it?
I think I cultivated it. I think that I am a nurturer. I am definitely a mother.
Back in the day, probably
and that energy is felt.
It's been forever.
But my mom was not a cook. She was raised in Latin America in a society where they had helpers that basically would prepare the food. So I didn't grow up in a household with amazing food. Quite the contrary. My mom's amazing, but she wasn't an amazing cook. So I started cooking with a boyfriend of mine in college. And No, this was actually in Arizona.
So, like,
but he
the
was
dinner
French. He was
all
he
food
wasn't
that is
French
quote-unquote
fully.
garbage,
He was
right?
like American, second generation French.
The roots of a
But we
lettuce
would
or
just
something
get
like
at like a
that,
Bon
better
Appetit
salad,
magazine
right?
and
here
make
you
a
go,
recipe,
table two,
right? So
and
we
then
just
beef
started
fat,
like
that's
that.
garbage. Like, I think
And
that's one
then
of the
later, I don't know
trends,
how.
guess
I
you
think
could say,
it was
right?
when I
and I know
met
that's
the
not
boy's
just
dad,
vegetable
Lou,
cooking, like,
and
that's
I was
like-
married to him.
that's
He
everything
was
overall.
the head of
But
a
it is
very
true,
large
like, again,
company.
there's no totality,
And
yes,
I
but
liked
now it's like,
entertaining, and
how do we go
I
so far
just
as,
found
like,
that I
those
could
are-
cook
those are
for
carrot
40
scraps or
people, and
something,
it
right?
wasn't a
Like,
big
what can we get
deal.
out of
Like
this?
I could
That's actually
figure out how to
the
do it. It
vegetable
just
chicharrones.
it
It's
doesn't
exactly
freak
it.
me
We-
out. I mean,
we
I
do,
just had this dinner for
our
70
in-house here,
people,
we do all these
and I
juices,
was not
beet,
stressed
carrot,
at all
all
about
sorts
the
of things like
food.
that. So when we
Like
juice
not
it,
at
we have
all,
those pulp bits.
because I know how
Byproduct,
good
right?
my
We
food
get thrown away.
is. So
But now how do we
and I mean
turn
I've been
it
doing
into
it for a lot
something
of
else,
years.
right?
But I guess what I would
So,
say to
but,
you is you don't have to
I would
be
say as
like
far as
me.
trends go,
Just
that's like,
find
I
one
guess my
dish.
favorite one.
And then make it a potluck,
But,
so that you're
and
not
again, I don't
totally
really follow
stressed.
too many
But
other
make
ones.
the
Like, I don't know if
theme
people
being
are
that we're gathering around
eating
food,
phytoplankton.
and that's
I have no idea.
that's,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know,
I don't know.
something I
free
would
of
You would do
violence,
that.
free of harm
I
to
love
the
a good
planet.
sea vegetable.
And that is a fuel for
I
your
don't know.
body
Maybe
temple.
that's the hot thing.
And
now.
even
I
if
don't
people
know, really
aren't
sure, but
plant-based
it's
in their
not
whole
necessarily
life,
like I don't keep
just
up on all
that
that stuff.
experience, like one,
Do you see
you know,
a
that
push
one
towards more
night or
wellness
that
thing,
one
more
gathering.
healthy
Oh, I would
things?
say
And not
definitely.
making
Yeah.
that's something
There's
that
definitely
we
more healthy
mentioned
things.
Jess Renan,
And
who has
and
one part plant, who
I would
we
say
love.
it's almost
And her
kind of funny.
whole
Like I
thing
said,
is
like
like,
I just
don't
put
make a
those
big
dishes
deal
together
about
like
it
for
being
somebody.
plant-based.
Just
Just be like, this is a really good dish. Like, you don't even have to
There's
like
definitely that
advertise
push to do it.
that
And I kind
as
of
the
get excited
lead-in.
with myself.
Like you can talk about that
Wow.
later and just be like, this was
Yeah.
something
I didn't
that's
mean to
really
do it.
good.
Gluten
And
free
then
is like
like
a
when
big
they're
one
like,
too,
oh,
obviously, right? That's
these
been
brownies are
that way for a long
delicious,
time.
then you can like tell them.
My mom has celiac disease.
Exactly.
So, like,
And I think that's
she
kind of
found
when
out
people get
quite a few years ago,
annoyed
but,
by it
I
or
mean,
turned
Italian
off by it
family,
when
we were
the
eating
first
pasta
thing
all
you
the
say
time.
is like how free of everything
so
it is. You know, like that's not something to
I
lead
find
with.
myself,
Maybe
Not to
lead
lead
with
with.
the
if you went through the
taste.
menu right now,
Let it stand.
I could
Let it
probably
stand on its
mark
own
off.
Yeah.
taste for sure.
I
You know, I
couldn't
think
tell
that's
you how
one
many
thing. I
dishes
think
I
the
would
other
eat,
thing
but I
that
never
is
do it on purpose.
just an
It
overall
happened to work
energy,
out.
and that
One day
is
somebody questioned me
to
kind of
cultivate
almost in a
an
confronting way.
energy
It's
of
like, well, what's
unconditional
gluten-free on
love
here?
and
I was like,
compassion
well,
and
let me
non-judgment
show you what's not.
with whoever.
There's actually only
You know,
these two
it's
dishes
like,
on it. You know what I mean?
you know,
and even beyond that, anything that does have gluten in it,
It
I'll
feels
always,
good to sit next to
like, that goes back
somebody
to, like,
who
these
is
picky diners, sorry, right?
free of
But
judgment.
that one has
Who
actually
is just,
kinda
you know, it's like
is
we're
more
all
close to my
human.
heart, like
We're
something
all
else.
not
So,
perfect.
you know what I mean?
We
Like,
wake up
so
and
I
create
guess, like,
harm,
when-
like right away,
when somebody says,
just
like,
from
oh,
being
I
on the
want
planet.
free, but then
This
I look at a
isn't
dish that
something
has
to
it, and I
become
say,
a
well, what do I do
vigilante
for mom?
about or
How
to
am I
be,
gonna fix it for that,
you know,
Or
a
that
fanatic.
That
We have to
that's
cultivate
so
love and compassion.
So,
And so what I always
the more I
tell
hear about the
people is
menu,
if
the
you
more I'm
brought
like, I know
violence
I've
into your
looked at
kitchen,
your
you
Instagram and I'm
completely
just
missed
like,
it.
okay, this
So that means
looks
allowing
insane. I think
people
I
their
sent
journey
you-
with
I sent
food.
him the brunch.
That doesn't
menu, and he
mean
was like,
be in
oh, that's
denial.
weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean not
He was
tell
like,
the
I want
truth.
everything on
And
the
no one
menu.
wants to look at it because God,
But
it's so
you can talk
uncomfortable.
about brunch,
But
lunch,
guess
dinner,
what?
whatever.
We really don't
What are some of
have
your
the
favorite
time
items that you
anymore
want to
to be in
highlight?
denial.
You can't
And
say
this
it's
is
like
where
picking your children
maybe
again,
when
you
you
have to
interviewed
pick a
me
couple.
a few
You
years
know, we
ago,
actually-
now
we've
I'm
been
kind
doing,
of on
like,
a
photo
different
shoots and stuff like that
moment.
lately. It was really exciting.
I really feel like
and,
we need to be
although
honest
it's
with
not-
ourselves and
It's
with
not
our
vegetarian,
children.
vegan, or gluten-free. but,
I would be
have
very
a-
happy
a-
if somebody
a
was
flatbread
feeding me
is a
something
croque madame.
that
So
was
croque madame's
cultivated
really
in
a sandwich,
violence,
right,
and I
with,
wasn't told the truth.
with
I wouldn't like
bechamel
that.
and
It doesn't mean
cheese
you
and
have
the
to,
ham and
you know,
everything.
you have to go to the
Fantastic
wall
sandwich.
and
I
like,
used
you
to make
know,
a barbalude. I gained, like,
traumatize
100
them.
pounds eating it.
But
It
you
was
need
so
to be
good.
clear.
But I
We
said,
need
how
to
can we
be
turn it
we need
into
to be
a,
honest with
flatbread?
ourselves, and we
did
need to
that. So we
understand
bake
that
it,
we
we
need
use
to take
Gruyere cheese,
responsibility.
make a bechamel,
It's not for someone
crack
else
two
to
eggs
take
onto it and bake it off.
responsibility.
And for
We
the
are
photo
the
shoot,
ones
I
we've
wrote it
been
up and I was
waiting
like,
for,
I guess it doesn't
and it
photograph
starts
all
right
that well
here
just 'cause it's very
with
monochrome, but I
responsibility.
had our
So we
it was
try.
my friend
You want to
Mark
to at least try and start with that intention, because you're gonna fall. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a moment, and even when you do, to be loving with yourself. It's not a black and white thing. It's a gray thing, but start to feel your way into this sensitivity. And this plant-based awareness will connect you with your heart. It will wake you up to the beauty of who you are. And we need everybody to be who they are, because we all were created from this divinity. And if we all would just be who we were created to be at a design, at a blueprint level, think of the beauty that would exist.
Super wild,
I mean, what a beautiful chart, a beautiful mission of life to know yourself.
If you like tomatoes, you can't not like
it. Ties back to what we were talking about at the beginning of with social media. I think of
we have a salmon dish that has It does incorporate our house-made yogurt in there with a lot of the baby squashes.
That even though we don't want to look at, we don't want to think
I'm really proud of that one.
It's so
Everything,
easy to stay in our
like,
bubble,
if you asked me this 6
and
months ago,
now
I'd probably be I'd be really proud of all the just that I just
world
came up with
is
6 months
in
ago.
this
So
place
it's everything that like
to look at
is
these
fresh in my
things
mind,
that
right?
make us feel
say some of the
uncomfortable.
plant-based.
Yeah, and the thing is even in
Sure.
spiritual
Well, the
evolution,
tomato salad is
you have to
plant-based.
look at what is.
We do have the cheese
You
on
have
there.
to be
that is actually
responsible
we actually use fresh
enough
mozzarella
and
with
mature
bread and fries,
enough
so it's not
to
gluten-free, but
look.
easily done without it.
You know, and that's to
our
heal
market salad,
anything.
which is like
you know, it's like
more
when
or less
I
just a
was
house
healing
salad, but
myself
the
of this
greens in
cyst in
there
my
are so good.
neck, which I think we
They
talked
come
about in
from,
another episode.
Which is
it's
an
farm
amazing
Bonnie
story.
Stars down in
Please
So-
go back and listen if you don't know what we're talking about.
But when I started the herbs, the pus
like
came out on my
sorrels,
face
wasabi
and
mustard
hundreds of
greens,
pimples for like a
baby
3-month
kale, all
period,
sorts of
and
things like that.
everyone in my
It's-
life was
it's so
freaking
good.
out,
Like,
telling me to stop
and
taking the
he
herbs.
grows them.
It's because we
indoors,
don't want to
so
look
they
at the
just available
ugly.
year-round.
We don't want to see
But
it.
my
We don't
God,
want to
they're-
feel
they're
pain.
some
We
of the
just
best.
want to
Like,
take
I
a
get so
pill.
excited when I go over there.
We
and
don't
I
want
see
to
them.
really heal.
I
We
call
just
ahead
want
now
someone
and
to
tell them,
tap
save
us
me
on
5 pounds,
our
but,
head with a wand
still, like, I
and
love
make
when
it
I
go
go over there and
away.
just, like, take out a
But
little
guess
bit
what?
of
We
taste.
live in a free
Everyone else
will
uses Tom's,
universe,
I'm
and
like,
we incarnated here
Just
for a
tastes like
reason.
Get in there.
We incarnated to
What else we got?
become, to
We have
remember.
actually, if you
And
don't
you
mind,
do
we have
that
a menu,
through
right? This
these
is the lunch menu, so
experiences.
it's
And
we'll go off
really,
this.
I mean, if you
One
start
is actually,
really looking at what's going on
gluten-free
planet
and,
Earth, there is only one intelligent solution.
It's not necessarily
and that
it's not
is
plant-based,
to cultivate
but it's
your
a
divine
chickpea panisse
connection.
And it's gluten-free.
That
and
is
it's
the thing.
Deep fried.
That
It
is the
fried in
thing
the
that's
fryer.
going to keep you
Some
safe.
people I know are like
That's going
okay
to
with that.
align you
but
with the
itself
right
is
vibrational
think of like, if you
energies.
think of like deep
And
fried
is it a
pizza,
vegan diet?
same idea. So it's like
Ultimately,
deep fried
no,
hummus.
it's not. That's not
so
like,
it's like got like a
that's
nice
not your
crispy
ticket
exterior.
to realization.
It's so
But
good.
it's a
It's so
step.
I'm like really into
But for
hummus.
right
It's
now,
my
I'm
story,
creating
yeah.
Nice,
cookbooks
nice.
to
I actually
help
just like kind of like
a certain
recently
set
got
of
into,
people
like, hummus,
remember
like,
and be able to,
I started eating a little
reconnect.
healthier at one point.
Another
probably
thing
back
I feel
in,
like we
December.
want.
No, I started eating like knowing
it's
that has
easier
like
to
more
go
of a
through
healthy
life being
quality
numb
to it, like
and
eating
not
like
like being
vegetables
our
with it.
full selves.
Instead of coming home and
And
eating grilled cheese and ramen, right?
It's the best snack.
That, like
It
you
really
said,
is
why
really
we're
good.
here
I don't know in the deep fried form
is
if
to
that's
know
good for you.
ourselves and then
Sounds
to be
great.
ourselves.
It's
And
we do it
that's
with
not
dill
relationships
and
really
garlic
bring
and like
that
it's got like
out of
it's just
you.
such a good flavor.
And you're forced to like
It is
sometimes
actually.
you still don't want to, but it really
The roasted
mirror
carrots
in
we
your
get like
face
baby
of
carrots in the market
letting
all the
someone
time,
see you,
and
then
we
you
just
have to
spice
see
those with
yourself. So
cumin,
you and Rich
cayenne,
have this relationship that is so
paprika's in there,
relationship goals,
and we just
something
roast
I
those
admire
off,
so much.
and we actually also make our own
So
butter
can you
cheese.
talk about
So
that a
like we
little
make
bit
that,
and like
we
how
whip it, it's on the bottom.
you guys
toasted cashews
communicate
on there,
so well,
it's like
and
a
you
toasted
have
cashew vinegar.
these lives that are like
toasted
super
cashews,
intertwined
crush them up
between
in sherry and olive
co-parenting
oil.
and the work that you do
it's
together.
just like super
what are
like
some,
it's just about the carrots, you know what I mean? Like it's really tasty.
communication
It's
tips or
like
just relationship advice?
I was
anything?
challenged to come up with
Yeah,
things like
I
that
think,
when we
well,
started
going
this
just
restaurant,
to
and I didn't
comment
know
on
that I
what
could
you
do it.
said,
Now I
it's
feel
like, we
again,
have
it
to
surprises me that I'm
understand
like,
that
like God
we
just
have
throws
both
something
dark
together
and
that's like,
light
oh, wow,
parts of
that's a nice
ourselves.
dish.
Like if you're in the
That's funny.
illusion and you think
Carrots
that you
on
only have
a
light
menu is
and
like
that's
our
where
thing.
you're living,
Yeah, we only
you haven't really fully.
Yeah, we love the
For some
roasted
reason.
baby.
And that's
We'll
okay.
be
our
like,
go-to.
well, let's
But
check
I'm
out this
just
stuff.
saying
Oh, the
that
carrots in the menu? Okay.
Everyone
let's try
has
that.
both dark
Yeah.
and light within
I went to
them, and
a
it's
restaurant called
it's
Nick's,
the
which is from,
clear
John
and
Wayne.
honest.
Oh, it's a vegetarian place.
Yeah,
of
it's
You know, she was telling us-
observation
Yeah.
my
of
friend was
those
telling us about it
energies
last night, and it's like
that
a 4-star
allow
Yeah.
the
restaurant or
transformation
something.
to
he's
happen.
got
One-star?
It's a maturity.
He has,
It's
I think,
understanding.
1 to 4
Oh, I see
Yeah.
that in me. And I
I
was
don't know if he
talking
got
on
me by the
Rich's
time, so I don't know
podcast
if he had
some
New York
weeks
Times,
ago,
but,
some months ago.
and not that I'm trying to
And I was
promote
saying
him, but,
that
like, I
I
eat over
think
there,
one
and I
of
was
the
like,
major
again, like that's one of those things where I was like,
steps to
I'm not-
becoming
I
a
wasn't
truly
vegetable guy.
compassionate
Like, I
being
gotta go out and
is
have
understanding
vegetables.
that you
Put it on
are
the
all
menu.
those
Like I went there and I was like, wow, that's
people.
Like, you made a
You
whole meal
are
out of
all
vegetables.
those
Like, it's not
versions
me.
of
I
all
don't
those
eat that
people.
way.
Yeah.
It's like
You know,
about 3
no
years
matter
ago, I
how
went down
dark.
the shore and
That
a friend of mine
you
was
can see.
she's
It's almost like
gluten-free. She was
you
trying
don't
to be
throw
vegan as best
stones
she
in a
could.
glass
So we in
house,
this
right?
restaurant
So
that I didn't
once
know
you
that, but I guess when I
understand
was there, that it was
that
gonna be, like,
you
totally
have
vegan.
been
We sat
all
down
of
and ate, and at
those,
the end of the meal,
all
I was like,
versions,
yeah,
and
I'm
then
kidding me. This was
all
like
you know
a
all
really
of the
fantastic meal. There was some things I
altruistic versions as well.
But still, like, I was
that allows a real maturity, and it allows, I think the
that's
level
the
of that
when,
unconditional love
be at a place that's plant-based and
neutrality around your partner's
it's just
darkness.
like, this is food. It's not like they're not leading with that. It's just like, this is delicious and it happens to be plant-based.
One of the
just
most
like you, when you
beautiful
make a
things
dish,
that
it's not like
said to me when I
you
met
just
him
made a really
was,
good dish
you
and you're
know,
like, oh great,
I can
didn't
feel
use
your
any dairy
pain,
or whatever.
and I have compassion for you.
As somebody who doesn't live that way all the time, right? Or really at all.
Right.
I mean,
and I had
I'll
been
go through like little fads
in relationship with a lot of men who were like I'm going to fix everything.
When I do eat a meal,
here, little girl, let me fix it all for you. And just the fact that he even said that,
you did it right.
Once, I was like,
so I am kind of surprised.
I was like, thank you. So I mean, Rich and I are very, very different individuals. I mean, just in our constitution, from the way our digestion works, to the foods he likes, the food I like, to the temperatures, to the way we approach everything.
Make myself something small to eat.
Different.
But then, like after that, for the rest of the day, it's
I would
just
say
like
that understanding the difference between
it's like grazing.
behaviors and
this is my favorite time
soul
of the year because right now we have
is
all
very
these
key in a long-term relationship.
Snow peas,
so it can be like
sugar snaps, all sorts of
could
things
be
like that. I saw
let's
green
say,
beans, wax beans in the market the other day.
I'm not going to give you
Mono beans are coming
specifics
soon,
about Rich.
those are my favorite things to eat
I
raw.
really can't think
so
of
like
it right
now's
now,
the time of year, like yes,
it's that thing with, and I do it with my children as well. Like I don't like what you did. I don't like what you did, and that hurt me terribly, or really upset me, or I'm really angry. But I love you.
Do you kind of make it so I have a friend.
So it's that awareness that the soul has unconditional love and that commitment.
Said this thing to me that always kind of stuck in the back of my head.
I'm not quiet about the actions I don't like. I'm very vocal. So we can, really express. I mean, I do this with my daughter as well. I mean, we just go at it.
So full that she's not going to be able to enjoy it.
It's not like a soft little thing,
And so,
it's an intense thing, but I mean, talk about a love that we
exactly
have
I feel
together.
about that.
And
But
she knows exactly.
with being a chef
like our
and being
love
always
is
kind of
so
ready
deep.
to graze.
And how cool that we can do that, together. So I think it's that understanding, keeping the soul out of the misbehavior,
fueling your body enough
or
to
the
do the
punishing act or the hurtful act.
Intersect?
And being able to communicate
even if
just
I was
how
full,
deeply you were
it's my
hurt
job to taste
about
the food. So like,
punishing it.
if I was like,
if you can keep those two things separate,
doesn't matter. I still have to taste the food.
You got a really good chance of transcending that hurt.
It's part of
and coming back.
It's the job. Like you have to do it. Like I don't know that I would I've ever set myself up to just.
That's
be like,
good. That's really.
I have to want more. I have to eat more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manny.
Food has arrived.
So this is cool. So this does have gluten and dairy on it, and I should have told them that before.
No, this is perfect.
He eats it. Such a great relationship.
So this is tomato salad. So like I said, tomatoes come from. This is it. This is the one. So tomatoes, they come from the green market. For the most part, they come from Cherry Lane Farms, which is down in very South Jersey. Persian cucumbers that are shaved on there, radishes from all sorts of stands. There's basil seed. We call it basil seed caviar because you soak them in a little water.
Right,
yeah, kind of like
cheese.
exactly. I was gonna say same idea. Like if you soak it in water, you get this like kind of like.
Well, I think it's funny. I
outside.
talked about this on Jessica's podcast.
Tomatoes get the tomatoes get marinated in.
I think my core, if I had to give one tip or one one thing that was
and
present
then
in my
on
life
the pickup
that
we
made a
season
huge
it with sherry
difference,
vinegar
is
and
that
salt.
I understand that we've all lived
you see the fried
thousands of
mozzarella
lifetimes.
cheese on there.
And I never felt like my
fresh
children
mozz
were
that
my
we
children.
spread
They were
ourselves.
less than. I felt they were my children. Like I love them.
Oh, there's a tomato foam.
To
We
the
take
ends of
tomato
the
water.
earth.
So
But I never thought they were less than or less developed. So from the time they were babies, I always viewed them as a divine being. Fully developed.
In the food process.
So I wasn't like, I got to teach them
so it's like
how to be
and it comes out like literally like as clear
because
as
God already
water.
made them great.
But it has the acidity and flavor of like a tomato. It's pretty awesome.
It's
I didn't invent that or anything. It's like from all over the place. Everybody does that. But
completely
we take that and then we
created
whip it,
the
so
most
it's a
beautiful
foam.
relationships.
Like an immersion blender?
And it also frees
the
me from the imbalance.
Bring it out. What else?
Of feeling as a parent
that
I have to make them into
has some good heat to it, so it
it's
gets
really
a little bit of spice on there.
It's ego driven.
The greens today.
So again, it comes back to my devotion
sorrel,
to my
which is a cool
service
green.
to the
but
force.
and
I'm not
on the menu,
religious.
I just
this
keep
is
this
a
as
spiritual
like it could be
energy.
any green. You know, I mean, let me see. I went to the market today, and this was a cool thing that I saw. So, or maybe it was an herb that I liked.
Yeah, I honored them as divine. It's funny. I had a friend of mine ask me when my boys were little, like, what are your goals for your children?
Is this going to maybe
and
like
I
a
looked at
seasonal
him
thing,
like,
just while
tomato salad.
what are you talking
So
about?
for such a long time, I was
I don't have any goals for my children.
I don't know, trained.
Like,
I
they're
guess.
gonna. I will nurture them, support them, love them
unconditionally,
unconditionally.
and if they're
and
greenhouse,
teach them any lessons like don't play with fire.
Work off
or
the
don't,
idea of
those type of things.
I don't like
but
to
it's
say
like
farm to
they're not mine.
So
it's
it's
not. They're not mine to judge or to
so for a long time, I was told like
create.
just because the tomatoes
And in the same way, I don't even take credit for how amazing they are. I mean, they blessed me as much as I blessed them. And I often say the most beautiful thing about motherhood is that the baby gives birth to the mother at the same time the mother gives birth to the baby. So it's
plastic tunnel that covers
double
the whole
birth.
plant, like goes the
Really,
whole row. So it grows outside,
when
it
you
just
look at
protects
it.
them a little bit from the cold,
So
cold nights.
those were,
so
that's
to me,
like a
hey,
really,
so
really,
it's good
really
tomato.
core thing. And
at
this
the
is
end of the
another
day, too,
thing
like,
that
if
I
I
think
taste
is
it, it doesn't
key
taste
as
good, I'm not gonna use
parents.
it.
Sure.
It
That
tastes
we
great,
would do
so,
very well
super
to
excited see
clear
it.
this
Tastes
issue,
really
and that
good.
is
They're
that
fantastic, so go up with it.
as parents,
So yeah,
for some
it is
reason,
very
we
seasonal,
project
and
our
maybe
issues
it's
onto
out
our
a little bit before
kids.
some other places might have
And if
tomato
we
salad,
suffered a
but
pain
it's still gonna be good.
in our
And once tomato
childhood,
season's over, like,
rather than
again,
us
these guys
healing
might be able to
it within
make
ourselves
money until-
through
I've seen tomatoes go all the way to
healing
November.
sessions or
You know,
yoga
if we have
or
a- if we have a warm
meditation or
fall, so,
self-inquiry,
if they're all the way out to
we then
once they're gone,
project
they're
that
gone.
onto our child and want to make sure that our child never has that pain.
Can I eat some?
And so what we've done is we've dumped our
Absolutely.
problems
Do you,
onto our
have
children.
any,
And what I would say
you
is that
orient your
we
life
need to
to
stop doing that and understand
your
your
schedule
children
is
are not
abnormal
you.
from,
They're not
you know, a
you.
traditional
They're their
9 to
own
5
beings. And there are
job.
some very strong
How do
genetic
you handle
patterns that
stress?
will
How do you
run,
kind of, like, structure
and a
your
child will
days
have an
when you're not
agreement to
having a day
heal
off?
certain genetic patterns. And that's why, in healing,
Well,
we say that
I try not to get
if
too
you
stressed
do the inner
about
work
things.
and the meditation
I mean,
and the
obviously
clearing
people
and
get
heal
stressed all the
something,
time, but I also try
it
to go
heals
slow,
7
like,
generations
something
forward
changes, if
and
something
7
was like,
back.
oh,
So
we,
there are those
you know,
things. There are
hey, by
those
the way, now we
genetic
have a 10
things.
top
I mean,
going in right now.
my son Trapper has so many characteristics of his father that I know what he's thinking. I know everything. I mean, we giggle, we laugh, because I'll just tell him exactly what he's thinking, and he'll laugh, but I'll say, honey, I was married to your dad for 10 years.
Working in the kitchen,
Like, I knew him so well. And I mean, everything about Trapper, the way he chews ice, the way when he's reading, he chews on his lip a certain way. I mean, it's uncanny. I'm just like, oh my God, that is so crazy.
Okay, so the name
And
of my
same with
podcast
Rich and
is
Mathis.
Let It
So
Out.
so much
when I offer
genetic
that to
likeness
you
there.
to let it out, is there
we tease
anything
them. We're
about
like,
cooking or
we're
being a
putting
chef
both
or
of
this
you in a
restaurant
tent
or
on
the
the
menu or
roof, and we'll see
anything
what
just
happens.
in general?
But so that is
you
present.
feel
But
like
what
we
I'm
haven't
saying
covered
is,
that
if
want
you
to
have some big
tell us?
wounds, if
I
you want to
think
really
we
be a
covered it all,
great
but I mean, I
parent,
just want to
heal
like touch
your own
more on like
stuff.
I really like.
And
love
let your
going
kids
to
be
market.
fresh.
It's
the way they
it's
are.
super inspirational for me. Like
I'm so happy.
I went maybe when I first saw the squash and beans.
When did the idea come to you? Why cheese?
I was there with
Well,
somebody that works here. And
the
she was
book is
actually,
called
like,
This
taking
Cheese
Instagram
is
pictures
Nuts.
and Snapchats of it and all.
Best title
And
ever. Actually named
she
by
caught it all on
Daryl
camera. Like
Lean,
I turned the corner and there they were on the table, and I was like
director, producer.
so excited.
Like
I wish
that,
I was
married
with
to
you.
the amazing
like that's
Zoe
like
Lister
probably the one thing I
Jones,
want.
who
I always try to
has
touch on, like
her
how
first
excited I get about that sort of thing.
solo
The
written,
wintertime,
directed, and
it's hard to
she
get excited
stars
in
in it.
wintertime.
It's called
The market
Band-Aid.
still
It's
goes
an
on.
amazing
It's
movie
still
out
there
right
4
now.
days.
Everybody needs to
But
go
it's
see it.
a lot
It's
of
incredible.
apples and
I laughed for
vegetables
20
and
minutes,
things like that,
and
right?
it's being
So
it's being
hard to
picked
get
up in all the
excited,
theaters, and it's
how
really
many purees
good.
can you make before?
Yeah,
like,
so Daryl, who's an executive
So, like,
producer on
when-
that
I love
when-
a good puree.
I'm
they
not
were
saying
coming
they're
over
bad
for
by any
dinner.
means.
It
I
was
love
kind of
making them,
early
but
in my, not
for
that
those, like,
early,
6
but I
months
guess
of cold
probably
weather.
halfway. I looked back at some
Celery
dates, and I actually started this in
but you know,
2015.
now with the weather getting nicer,
I thought I had done it in a year and a
I
half,
keep
but it's
saying to
really
everyone,
been
like,
more
green
than
stuff's
2
coming,
years.
and like that's the
So
thing
I was
always try to,
making
like,
a
point out,
board
try to
of
let
sample
everyone know, like,
cheeses,
it's-
and
that's
I
what we do.
teased
Like,
them on
we go to
Instagram
market,
because I
we
knew
grab
they
what's
were
the
coming,
newest, what's the
and
freshest.
they would look.
I go on my days off.
So when he came in,
If
they
I
were
take off on
starving,
Monday
and they
the
just
market's
started
going on,
eating.
obviously,
And then he
I
says
go over
from
there
the
on my
living
own
room,
just
like,
because I
Julie,
want to see.
do you have a
Like,
title?
who knows? Like maybe.
No, and he's like,
this
this
I guess
cheese
I'm always
is
like worried,
nuts.
like what
And I
if
was
I
like,
go
oh
that
my
day
gosh.
and it's
So
the
anyway,
first
so that was
thing
how the
and
title.
it's
So I
by
owe
myself.
him. I owe
So
him
even if it's
that
my day off, I want to
genius.
go.
Yeah, thank you,
so I can
Daryl.
see it there.
Yeah, shout out Daryl. But anyway,
So I guess
so
that's me, like,
when I started to create it was,
sometimes
I
we
think
don't
the
need
ink
anything
wasn't
more.
even
It's the
dry on
same
the Plant
idea.
Power way,
I'm here,
because I
I
did a
gotta go there,
very
we gotta see what's
basic cheese section.
If I didn't do that one day, I
section
wouldn't have known squash and zucchini was out.
And at the time, we had been using just some store-bought almond grated cheese on our nachos.
Do you listen to music while you cook?
And it was okay.
We listen to some music in the kitchen.
Trying to
it's a lot of,
get used
Metallica.
to it a little bit. And what I noticed is that in cleanup,
it's very intense.
Like I needed a jackhammer to get the residue, right? So I thought to myself,
he loves Metallica.
That's so funny.
This is not good for the digestion.
Yeah, he loves it.
So I created this warm cashew sauce.
He always has.
And we started to eat that on our nachos, and it's on this recipe.
Nothing super loud, because he listens to some crazy stuff. So he'll always like put Metallica on or something like that.
It's so delicious that I couldn't even plate it before the boys had eaten it. I started to have to like double and triple the recipe because it literally would be gone in 15 minutes.
Okay, I have like a really inside baseball question that you can.
So then I started trying it on pizza. I would make a homemade pizza with veggies and then pull it out of the oven and have warm cashew sauce on the stove. Pour the cashew sauce on after, and then add like a salad on top of it.
Tomatoes, but then like
fall down on the ground, delicious, like amazing. So when I turned that in, I was like, "There's more in this cheese
I wouldn't say I'd
world
ever
to be
used tomato like
discovered."
that.
And
That sounds like
I
something
just
that's, like,
I really wanted to do it. I don't even know how. I guess.
So the tunnel that you're talking about, I was like, is that?
And as you know, I approach
these tunnels are
food
really
as
like
art,
it's like a plastic
and I
rubber,
don't
whatever, I don't
read
know. And
cookbooks.
you know,
It's funny
so
because
100 yards long is where the tomato plants are all planted.
I don't
and this
use
thing just covers the whole
recipes
thing.
from other people.
It doesn't. There's
I
nothing. There's no
usually just
chemical
create
about it.
them
It's
on
just
my
that
own.
it's just a protectant.
So this was a little bit different. I did have to
they plant these plants outside
consult a couple books
when
for
it
some
starts to warm a little bit,
techniques.
so like March-ish area.
I did a lot of experimentation.
And then they cover
I threw a
them to
lot
make
of
sure
stuff
that
away.
the ground doesn't freeze around
I
them.
never throw
Plants don't
meals
die.
away.
It's not a greenhouse.
But again,
not
this
being
is a
sprayed
little
with
bit more
chemicals.
chemistry.
Most of the farms, I can't say all of them.
So what I did is I was able to create so many ways to make amazing plant-based cheeses
some people
using
actually
nuts
get like
with
weirded out
very
like,
pure ingredients in quite a simple process. So I'm absolutely overjoyed with the results.
And people don't always
I call it
realize
cheese
that they think,
2.0
it's a chewed up lettuce.
because it's really not cheese. It's better than cheese.
There's probably some other stuff on there that
you know, it's like I have this cashew blue, which is just a delicious recipe. It's so amazing.
Because I know that's like a big
and
thing.
you know, somebody asked me,
if this head of lettuce
really
isn't
taste like blue cheese,
gorgeous,
and I
like
would
it's just
say,
not going to sell.
thankfully,
You know,
no.
because
Have you tasted
so
blue
you
cheese
intentionally
recently? It tastes like an old
maybe
tin
like
sheet.
purchase like things that aren't.
And one of the things that I also experienced with this
we make
book
everything
is
look good.
one of my
Or
sons,
as best we can,
Tyler,
right?
and my niece
it doesn't mean that I buy
Maggie, they
bad
don't
food. I'm
like
not gonna buy something
cheese.
that's rotten.
They never
Right.
have like cheese.
But if it was like
but they eat my
a
cheese.
twisted carrot,
There's only
in the long run, you
there's
probably
like
wouldn't even know
three
because
recipes
right
that
away
they
we're gonna
don't
manipulate
eat,
it, right?
and
We're
it's
gonna
the
cook it, roast it,
camembert with
whatever
the
it
truffle
comes down
oil.
to. It's not gonna be like
Because it tastes too much like cheese.
It's funny you guys asked that
But
because I
all the
was
rest
watching
of
Chopped last
them,
night,
I mean,
and the
they were
episode I
just
watched was,
eating
like,
it,
ugly
eating
food
it.
or
So it's
something.
even
They
good
had
for
these,
people
like,
who
they had,
don't
like,
like
carrots
cheese.
that were, like,
And then I
free
included
prompt
also,
carrots,
there's an
twisty
allergy-free
cucumbers. I was like,
section in the
what's
book
wrong with
with cheese made
Because
from
they're just
garbanzo beans,
cucumbers.
white
Yeah,
beans,
it's just a
tofu,
cucumber. You give them bad
sesame
food.
seeds,
Right.
sunflower seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's there.
Well,
And then
the
I did a
radix
bunch of
salad,
companion
and I just
recipes
Super
as
good.
well because I was the person, like I
And the
love
radishes,
cream
it's
stuff.
so
I'm not
good.
going to have a tea without
yeah,
creamy in it.
congratulations.
I don't
Thank
want
you
it.
very
I don't
He's
want
as
a
good
black
as
tea
he
in my
seems
drink.
every year.
So I
Anything else? This is
created
great.
also
Thank you.
all the
Podcast.
other
I appreciate
desserts
it. I was
and
excited
all
to
the
do this.
Thanks for
meals
setting
that
this
I
up.
craved that had cheese in
Yeah,
them.
this is great.
So there's a
Nice to have
beautiful
co-hosts.
potato
Did I
lasagna.
do okay?
You're
First
great.
time. Yeah.
You're great. And it's your
So
birthday.
this has potato, very
Cheers, we
thin,
did it,
thin
guys.
Cheers.
potatoes. It
Cheers.
has the
Happy
noodles.
birthday.
And
Thank
I've got
you
to,
so
I'm going to
much.
have to grab the book and show you the
A
recipe.
giant bottle of mineral water.
So,
Yeah.
well, this
I
is
actually
one.
did
Let's just move on
drink
right to
sparkling water until I got
this
here.
situation
No, I
right
can't.
here.
It's good.
So,
That's the thing.
creme
I got
brulee
it
was
for a
my,
while, and then I got off
that's
and
the
I was like,
dessert
this
I
is the
ordered
best.
every single time.
Yeah, that's funny.
If I've had it or if
we
I've
have
had
a friend who
long
has
known
like
as a child, but my
a
mom
sparkler,
loves
like it
Does she?
sparkles.
Oh, yeah.
So I created
Soda
this
stream?
The soda stream,
plant-based
right.
version.
Right,
It's
right.
absolutely
It looks
delicious.
beautiful.
And
it
you
works
need a
well?
chef's torch. But
The soda stream?
I've never actually drank from
I don't like
fantastic.
sparkling.
Cauliflower
Okay.
smothered.
Stop it.
Yeah, so this
A
is
long time
blackened
ago, there was a restaurant
cauliflower,
called
and I was
WK.
inspired
Not a long time, it was a
this
couple
dish
years.
from Miznon
It was
in
a
Paris.
super,
Have you been to
innovative
La
restaurant.
Marée?
The guy, Wiley
Okay, it's
Dufresne, the
like
chef
a-
and owner there,
it's like
he would do
a
some
section
really,
of
like,
Paris.
wild things.
They
with
have
food, like,
this
really, like, manipulate them using
cafe
different,
there
like,
called
food
Miznon.
chemicals that,
And they do these
turning
broiled
like a
whole heads of
shrimp puree into
cauliflower.
noodles or
The
something.
whole
They do,
head,
like,
they
really
put it
crazy
and just
stuff like that.
blacken it.
But I remember sitting
And
at the
then they
bar
don't serve
one
theirs
day
with
and,
cheese.
grabbing a drink
But I
for
did
us,
mine, and then
he had
I poured warm
a
cashew
CO2 tank that was
sauce
as tall
over
as
the
me,
top.
and
It's
they they would
insane.
so they would immediately carbonate a drink right
Okay,
away.
so
like if you like,
I did cheesecake.
That this
Yeah.
was, I don't know why I was thinking it was
they
just
had a soda
exclusively
bottle.
cheese.
Okay,
but
so
no,
you gotta,
no.
like, actually seal it,
Do you have a
Yeah, so he'd
favorite?
like make like say like a Negroni,
Oh
and
my
like
goodness,
instead of
I
just
couldn't.
pouring.
This is McClay's
the,
Mexican cheesecake. This is
whatever
one of
water,
the best
salt,
chocolate
he
cheesecakes
like
you'll
infused
ever
it.
taste.
So it wasn't.
So there's just so much. There's coconut yogurt.
Yeah,
There's
actually
sour
makes it
cream.
Photos.
That's sweet.
Yeah, things like that.
Okay,
Like,
so
I don't know why Negroni's
I
supposed to be
have
on,
these
but, like, imagine
these
that,
photos were
like,
all
a
taken
Negroni
by the
that
amazing
doesn't have
Leia
anything other than Negroni
Rosevich.
ingredients, but
And
Right.
Leia,
Exactly.
yeah,
I don't know
Leia
if you can afford
was
to have a
the
suit.
nanny.
No,
You
that
just
sounds
met Leia.
Or the space.
She's
She's
hard.
just took
Yeah,
her
that's
photo.
amazing.
Wait, okay.
She was a nanny to
In the podcast, it's
my
like-
girls when they were very
Yeah, we
little.
can edit
And I
this in
met
if
her
we need
mom
to.
at a
No, it's
meditation
thinking about this around me,
event
so I
that we
don't
were
care.
at.
I just
And
want to hear about that.
she
Okay,
raised
yeah,
these two
so-
gorgeous blonde. They were like
Thank
the
you guys so much
fairies
for
of
listening.
life,
That's
and
the
my girls
episode. I hope
loved
you like
them.
it. I
My girls
am
were
ending it here,
intense.
but if you
Like,
want to
they
hear
were
our
not
next
just a
final
normal,
question
you know,
and a
easygoing
little bit
child.
more
Like, they
banter, stick
required
around
a lot
after
of
this
creativity,
outro,
and
and
both
you
Leia
can hear
and her
that if
sister
you feel like
Lisa
it.
were
If not, you can end it here.
magic.
That's
They were
cool
just
too.
amazing.
I'll talk to you
So
guys
Leia's
next
been in
week
my
with a brand
life
new
for
full
many
episode
years,
with
and when I was
Phoebe
doing the
from the
homeschool,
Wellness
I really
Project.
wanted her to do the school
And
with me.
if you
And
don't know
then,
Phoebe,
much
you
to my
should
sadness,
check her out.
but
She's
good for her.
fantastic.
She went to
and
Soka University
It was
and went away
maybe
for
one of
4
my favorite
years and traveled all over
episodes
the world.
ever.
And she was the head
for
of the
sure.
garden there.
And I
and
really
then
like her.
after
I'm
she
excited for you
finished
guys to hear it.
Soka,
We recorded
I
it
was
in person
still
in Brooklyn
doing
a
my
couple weeks
homeschool.
ago.
So she came back and was the head
until
teacher.
then, tweeted
And
me
then
the emoji
the
for
whole
this
thing
week's episode,
fell apart
which
and didn't
is
work,
it was
and,
so
you know,
easy
we
this
moved
week.
on.
It's never
And
easy.
I
But
was
it
in the
so
middle
easy
of
for
a
me to
photo
choose.
shoot
Without further ado,
for another
the
project,
emoji for this
and
week's
she was
episode
taking
is
Instagram
none other
images,
than
and
the
I just
tomato.
saw her
Because
eye,
we
and I
talked
was like,
about
you are
the tomato
amazing.
quite a bit.
So
Chef Chris,
when I
that is,
started
makes
this
this
book,
amazing
I really
tomato
needed
salad,
an
which we
assistant.
got to
I
try,
knew
and I
was
highly
ready to
suggest
sort of bring somebody
heading on over
and
to Cafe
I
Society
asked her
next
if
time
she
you're
would
in
like to,
New York
you
and
know,
trying
come
it.
on
If you like
and
tomatoes,
train
you're gonna
and
love this
mentor
salad. The
to
dressing
move into
is
this. And
so good.
She had a
and
camera and had
I
been
really
in
enjoyed it.
you know,
And so
Central
did Nick,
America and had taken some
I
amazing
think everyone who's ever had
photographs
it. So
of indigenous
check it out.
people there.
Tweet at me the
And
tomato.
we started working
and
together
I will
on
talk
a
to you guys
daily
next
basis.
week.
And
Thank you so much for
she
listening.
just really,
I love you so
really
much. If you like this episode,
fast.
leave a review on iTunes.
You know,
Share it with a
she's
friend.
really gifted
Leaving
with
a
it.
review
She
is
learned everything
so
she needed to
nice
learn.
and helpful. And I read all of them.
you
I
know,
love them.
We
And quickly, I
styled
just want
these.
to
You know,
thank
we work
the sponsors
we work
one more
right
time.
there in the moment. So
Fresh
it's not.
Fix is the best.
I like
I
working
use
that
them.
way
I
rather
love
than
them,
doing
and
a
I
shoot
really
where I'm shooting
genuinely
5
think you
days, all
will
these
too.
recipes.
They're great.
So we just
You
shoot
can
every
change
day
the
together,
colors,
and
you
we're
can
both
change-
yogis, and
you
we
can
have
add
the
your
same
logo
flow.
in
And we
your
start every morning
invoices.
with a
You really look
meditation and with
professional
tea, and we
like
do
a
it for the
boss as
same
a
reason.
freelancer,
You
and
know,
I think
so
they're great, and I really
she's
think you guys will
chanting.
too.
She's a Buddhist.
If you're not
and
a
she's
small business
chanting
person and you
for,
don't
know, the
have
beauty
a
of this
freelance
book,
career,
for this
there
book to
are
transform
also really
people
great for
through the
tracking your
recipes,
finances,
and-
which is something
and
that
I'm
I know
doing
I
the
can
same
always
in
stay
my own way. So
more
we're
on
very,
top of.
very
So if you want
aligned,
to check
and
them out, even
it's
just to try them
almost
for 30
like
days, you can.
there's no personal
absolutely
anything
free. You can get
for
a
us
free
to ever work
30-day
through because
unrestricted
it doesn't
trial
exist.
by going to
So we're very devoted to the
freshbooks.com/let-it-out.
mission,
That's
and we care about the same
freshbooks.com/let-it-out.
And it was
And make sure you
a
enter the
huge
code.
joy for me
Well,
to
you enter
mentor
Let
her
It Out
to
in the
be-
How Did You
I
Hear
mean,
About
she
Us
has
section,
this
because
gorgeous
that lets
cover
them know that
on
I
this
sent
book.
you, which helps support
And
the podcast. So
these
make sure you
photographs
just
in
get your
this
free
book
trial.
are
It supports the
absolutely
podcast.
extraordinary.
And after you do that,
she's,
make sure
know,
you
she's a
enter
full-blown photographer.
Let It Out in the How Did You Hear About Us section, so you're actually supporting the podcast. Another way to support
I know,
the podcast.
it's really
Check
great.
out
You know, I've
Nude.
been talking about
they
this
are
thing
an
with
awesome,
Leia.
all
We've been
natural
talking
skincare
about
brand that I really
this
like.
divine alignment.
They are a
And
beauty
what is divine
system.
alignment?
Check
And
out
for
their
me, it's
products,
when-
see what
it's
you like.
when
Their
the
eye cream is exceptional.
processes are stacked
and
on top
you
of
really
each
have
other,
nothing to
where
lose with
what
them because
I
they have
do
a
for me
60-day,
benefits
100%
you,
money back guarantee.
And this was one of those
you get 20% off
amazing
your order
experiences.
just because you're a listener of this podcast. How do you do that? You go to nudo.com and enter the code Let It Out at checkout. That's nudu, nudu.com, and enter the code Let It Out. All right, all these links to Nudu, to FreshBooks, to the event I'm going to be at with Franklin and Whitman in Philadelphia, Self-Care Sunday. All those links are in the show notes. So you don't have to remember anything.
Like for me,
and the link to Cafe Society, the restaurant that I was at with Chef Chris. It's all in the show notes. So go check it out. Next time you're in New York, maybe we should all meet there. Should we do a meetup there? That might be cool. All right. I love you guys. Leave a review, share this episode. It really does help out the show a lot. Also, subscribing on iTunes helps. It all helps. Let's be friends on all social media.
And I think,
I'm
again,
at
like,
Katie Dalebout on
you're talking about
Instagram. I really enjoy doing my Instagram
I feel
stories.
like
so
on planet Earth,
if you like watching
in a
those,
society for
let
many,
me know.
many,
Let me know what you want to
years
see.
we're just thinking
and
about me.
I will talk to you guys
Just
later. So many cool episodes coming out.
And, we've all
I'm
all
really
been
excited
there.
about this podcast
like
and
a
where it's
judgment.
going. And
But we
the
really are at a
future
moment in history
present, and
where now
I just want to
the
know
proper
from
way to
you
think
what you
is
like, what you want to hear more
in
of,
whatever way you can.
and
I mean,
I'll talk to you guys later.
And so this was a
love
way
you. Bye.
we could be in we.
And you can join the Facebook
And
group as well.
It's also
That's
just
a great
so
place
efficient.
to meet other
You know what I
people who
mean? It's
listen
like
to the podcast.
it's efficient and
Link to
fun,
that
and
also
so
in the show notes.
the same way with our retreats in Italy and our
I've been to
retreats
Cats a lot of
in
times.
Ireland. It's
Okay.
like I
We were talking
create
about
a
it once.
menu for the
You
whole
only once?
week.
Yeah.
I've been
And
twice.
so
Okay.
By a
I've
lot,
created
I've
all
been
these
twice. But, like,
dishes, and
love
so
it. It was
More
like-
times
did
from
is
someone who
we
lives in New York.
photographs.
Well, sure.
and
Anytime
I
I've been
created
Yeah.
all the recipes, so
And,
we'd
like,
already
big
done
fan.
half the
But,
Italian
like,
book.
if I want another one,
So it's all
this is a
done.
good one.
What's
Right
Carnegie
as
Deli
we're
all
doing
about?
it.
Is
There's
that
no
the
going
thing?
back.
I don't know.
There's
Like,
no
Carnegie
going
Deli?
back,
Carnegie Deli
and
actually
then
closed, I think.
it's like you
today.
got to
Oh.
be there
Yeah, I think
efficient,
Carnegie
like
closed.
in the
So we're not
movie.
going
If you want
there.
good pastrami,
And that's how that's how we're developing. And Leia is also an amazing yoga teacher, and I just filmed my first. It's been sitting there ready to edit for almost 8 months, and I've been so busy I haven't. But I have a yoga video that I shot. She co-directed
His guy's name
it.
is Chance.
Okay, so I really want to
He's a
ask
friend
you
of mine, and he
my
makes
quick
some
fire
awesome
questions that I ask
pastrami.
everyone.
He has a
because
lot of like really
they've
cool
changed
stuff like
since
that.
Does he make it
the
himself, or he like
podcast.
just
Yeah,
does the same?
no,
thing?
he makes it himself.
One
Like,
thing
he
that
brings the
I
brisket in,
ask
brines it for 2
everyone,
weeks, does the
Sweet.
spice rub on there,
especially
like
speaking
smokes
as
it,
women,
roasts it.
is about body image.
It's really,
and
really
I think
good.
it's something that we
Really?
think about and deal with
What's
as
the one that
women.
closed up by?
People in general, but just
Is Carnegie good? Have you
women
been
more
there?
so.
I've not.
Have you heard
And
good
being
things?
someone who's such a public
I've heard
person
bad
and
things.
in health and
It's
wellness,
famous, right?
It is.
how do you
Did,
handle
like, David Letterman
body
like it or
image, and
something?
have you
I
ever
could've sworn
struggled
they
with
closed
it,
the
or like
Midtown
what
one.
do you
Ah,
feel
okay,
like
that's
about, you know,
that's what it was.
the
The Midtown was the one that
physical
was
issue
yeah, that was the one that was right next to Letterman, and
Oh, that's
feel
what that
like
next
the
to
person in
Letterman.
the world.
Yeah,
I knew it had something to do with
because he used
Letterman.
to.
Well,
Wasn't that guy's name? Rupert,
yes.
that used to
again,
go-
it's like going back to that
Yes.
Ran it
connection with
fried
divinity.
thing?
It's like
That's the cheese.
It's so good.
when
man.
you
Yeah, it's
have
really
that
good.
relationship.
This dressing is really
and
good. I
when
want to
you
drink
view
it.
your
That's
body
exactly
as a
what Mark,
Also
the
very
photographer,
divine
said. Like,
mechanism.
he ate it, and he was like, you know, I'm not the kind of like
can
dressing kind of
develop
guy. I don't
a
like, I don't
nurturing
like this
self-talk.
overdressed stuff. He's like, but I just want
And
bread
I
like,
think
soak
that
salt and this.
Yes.
a
would-
lot
I
of
would
times
call it
most
right
of us
now.
spend most of our lives
That's what I was
Very
saying. Like, if you don't like
saying
tomatoes,
very
it's not gonna
mean
like it, but,
things
like,
to our
I didn't
body
do
on a
anything, I just put
consistent
tomatoes on the
basis.
plate.
If you had a friend that did that
Your
to
own
you, you
tomatoes
would have
is like
stopped
a
talking
loner.
to her
Amazing.
very long
Yeah,
time
that's what
ago.
it is. It's, you know.
So I
and
really
like,
think that it's
I should've
about
said this 20 minutes ago.
being
letting the
the
ingredients,
best
like,
in
kind of
your own
speak for
physical
themselves.
I can
form.
edit it.
And maybe the question
letting
is,
ingredients speak for themselves,
have
you know,
you
like,
treated
we-
your body? How are you
I
treating
don't.
your body?
Trust me, I love to
you
play
know?
with food. Like,
And,
see some like weirdo stuff I can do. In
you
the past, I
know,
would try to
it's,
do a lot
we all
more
do
often.
this, and I mean,
But as
I do it. It's like
grow-
you look at a
As I
photograph and you
mature,
see
yeah, as I grow
everything
as a chef,
negative
yeah,
in the
like,
photo, right?
I
And
find
then
it more to be like, well, that's
5
just,
years
like, what the
later, or
food do, so
maybe
talk
2
to
years
that.
later, you look at the
You know,
photo and
like,
you're like,
that's-
oh, that was
now,
actually okay,
yeah,
right?
of course I
So
am. This market,
I am,
I worked in
I'm
Tribeca for a long
older
time, and to come up
in
to
this
Union Square
space.
4
I'm going to
times
be
a week was like, what
55
a
years
pain.
old this year.
I would do it if I could. It just wasn't always
So sweet.
ideal.
But
now,
yeah,
like,
so it's a thing.
I know
it
I
is a
joke
thing
that I
in
go
this
4 times a
society.
day,
How do
but I
we
joke sometimes,
age?
like,
You know, how
I've
are we
been there, like, on a
aging?
Monday,
And you were
like, 3 times.
talking
Oh,
when
I
I
forgot
came
to do
earlier
this.
about
Yeah,
how
so close.
you know women
Yeah.
have
So
so
easy,
much
so,
more
like,
pressure. You know
if we
about
have this
how we
fresh
look
ingredient and these
and
fresh
everything
ingredients, why
else.
wouldn't we
And
just use them all
I'm
the
right
time
there
and
with
let
you.
them
I'm
do
a
their
designer.
thing?
I like things
Yeah.
beautiful. You know,
You're doing it.
I've never
reason
been
to go,
down
like,
with this
crazy.
aging.
Making it
A lot of
like,
you know, there's
I'm for
definitely
like
room for
eternity
those
and the
restaurants.
soul.
Those restaurants obviously
So,
do survive that you know.
I don't know how
use
I think we
sous vide
cultivate
cooking and all that
kindness
sort of
towards
stuff is, like, you know,
ourselves.
very out there. I don't have the
think
ability to do that.
that's
That's
one of the
not what we
reasons
have
why I
here.
don't drink.
And some
I don't
people
drink
would
any
charge me for
alcohol
things, but
because
I
it's
think the tomatoes, you know,
ravishing to the body. You know,
Yeah.
it's not something that
It's
is.
like honor
It's
the
not a
tomato.
healing
I know.
elixir for the body.
Cool.
Yeah.
I try to eat in a way that
We're good.
nourishes
We're totally
the
good.
body.
I'll be back with food.
I try to take care of myself with yoga and meditation.
Thank you again.
And then I try to use, the best, products that I can, or things that are not chemical, toxic or chemical, or plastic surgery, or these type of things. And I'm not saying that that's never appropriate, because sometimes, it might be for you. But I guess this whole thing of, it's again, just like in health and wellness, like going right to that, like the first time you see a wrinkle on your face, or, is there another way to approach it, and I think we're all beautiful the way we were created, and there's all different bodies in all shapes and sizes. So I think where the self-loathing comes is, have you really treated your body in the most loving way? Or do you have some shame about that or something? However, this is another thing that's been on my mind, and I think that we're in the middle of this exploration with it, is how to be in the divine feminine on this planet and to really be embodying that force in a fully expressed way. So women have been portrayed in this culture, in this planet, this society, as being a reflection. You know, we're associated with the moon, which doesn't have its own light. It's a reflection. Women should be softer, you know, smoother, more peaceful, more yin, you know, all this thing. And I'm in a spot of exploration where I don't feel that to be true. I think we are a solar race, and women have their own light. And being a woman means many things. But Mother Earth is fierce when she needs to be. And if you're a mother and a guardian of your children, you're fierce. So I'm no longer subscribing to this paradigm of prince, princess. Nobody needs to be rescued. The divine feminine doesn't need to be rescued. She's running the show already. So we really need to understand, you know, this is put in the culture, this Disney, you know, someday your prince will come, and that the same energy is a rapist. It's a rape, you know, you don't really understand it, but it really is, if you really look at it. Yeah. So my question to all of us is, how do we thrive, how do we be in radiance of our divine feminine, which includes beauty, immense creativity, without objectifying ourselves? Yeah. Where is the line with that? And you know, I don't know that any of us know that. And I certainly have objectified myself, especially my younger years. Not today. But and I'm not saying that, you know, that I won't dress sexy or won't look good, but it's a specific energy, you know, that I think we're going to have the opportunity to learn and have the opportunity to be in that beauty, because the feminine is the eternal creator. Mm-hmm. And this is whether you're a man or a woman, it's just within your being. Yeah. And I do feel there is a movement from the younger generation towards androgyny, which is really the ultimate realization of enlightenment, because you have both within you. So it's a matter of where are you going to play it and what is appropriate. But I feel like there's a lot of stories on this planet, because it was set up this way, not because it's the women's fault, but where we were taught the most important thing was a man at any cost. And so where is the trust of the women? Where is the sisterhood? You know, it's really, you know, it's intense, you know? And again, this has been implanted in the grid. So, but we, you know, the feminine is, like I said, eternally created. She is powerful beyond measure and needs nothing outside of her. And really no divine being directly connected to source needs anything outside of itself. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting, I think, over the next days, weeks, months, years, how we embody this true archetype of what it really means to be a woman. Yeah. So, I'm excited. It's a beautiful time on the planet. You know, you know, there is a lot of trauma happening now, and yet this is what we incarnated for, is this moment. So we need everybody to be more of who they are, to know themselves, to make sure they're using their discernment, to make sure that they're being authentic, and that they're cultivating that divine connection as the first priority. Yeah.
This is interesting, because the next question that I ask everyone is to speak on feminism and, you know, how you define, I know it's like perfectly aligned, how you define your feminism today and what that means to you. And I feel like you just touched on it almost completely. Yeah. Is there anything you want to add to, like, what you view as feminism now and how it's important with the world we're in today?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just what I just said. I kind of talked about it in depth. And mind you, I mean, everything's perfect. We're right on time. We've been through our experience. And in my own experience of being a woman, I'm a hopeless romantic. I love being in love. I love all of that. And I've had quite an interesting path in that I've sampled various types of relationships as a woman. An abusive relationship, physically abusive, that was my first marriage. Then the second one, which was a prince-princess paradigm, which was beautiful for 10 years, amazing. And then this one, which is more of a divine, feminine, masculine, equality situation. And yet there's beyond, and beyond is when you're fully embodied and you don't need the other to complete you. So, we're in this moment of transformation. And I mean, Rich and my relationship is going through a huge transformation. And, we're very together, and even closer than, we've ever been. And yet, we're transforming. Both of us are transforming. So it's, we're going to be on planet Earth for a long time, and it depends. I think it's an opportunity. It is an opportunity for a greater expansion. Because if you can imagine being fully merged with your God self and then being in relationship with anyone, no matter, what sex or what your preference is. But that's what I'm talking about. It's almost like you're sovereign completely, and then you choose to dance with somebody. But it's not out of necessity. It's not out of, all relationships were brought together because you have a similar kind of wounding. There's some kind of wounding that happens to match up. And then it's like, oh, that's, I have a scrape on that knee, so that's how it's set up. So again, it's been an evolution. Everything's perfect. Everything's right on time. But I'm just saying that it is the moment now for the feminine to be all that she is as a completely connected, sovereign being.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay, these are actually quick fires. And they're different from what you answered last time. But since you just traveled in here, what are some of your top travel tips or things to stay plant-powered and self-aware of traveling?
Well, one thing that I have to do is I bring essential oils on the plane of some kind. Cool. Just because I'm very sensitive to the smells and energy, and also the plane air, around me. So I will do that. I happen to travel with a beautiful teacup, ceremonial teacup, with pu'er tea. And I'll get just a bunch of leaves on the bottom of the bowl, and I just fill that up the entire flight with continual stream of hot water.
Oh, cool.
So that's one thing that I
ask
do.
The flight attendant?
Yeah, I'll just walk back there and I'll be like, can you fill this up? And they're kind of like, really? It just makes all the difference. Yeah. And I can put it in, a Ziploc bag and just put it in my backpack, and it seems to work really well. So that's one tip. I'm trying to think, what else do I do to travel? I usually do yoga in the airport before I get on the plane, especially if it's a long flight. Cool. So I'll get in just a little bit of stretching and some asana. I don't really care if people are watching or whatever. It's like rather take care of my body. Yeah. And then also I always put a really super heavy mask on my face, or get a really emollient cream, a really good one, and put it on before I go on the plane, so that my face gets more moisture.
I love that. What is the best thing that you've eaten in the last week?
My cheese.
A specific one from the
mozzarella in brine. It's the delicious, creamy mozzarella cheese.
Ooh, that's really good. So my book was about journaling. Mm-hmm. So I love to ask, are you a journaler? Is journaling or writing a way that you kind of process your thoughts and feelings? Anything that you can share?
Yeah, actually, I have this amazing pen. I went to this spiritual community in Damanhur. Do you know about Damanhur?
No.
It could be another podcast, but it's a spiritual community in Italy that was founded 30 years ago.
Cool.
And I've been there twice, and they have these temples to mankind inside the mountains, and I've slept in the temples. And the founder was an alchemist, and he created a lot of systems and tools that were made with spirals of energy and metal and fluid. And these spirals are inside the walls of these temples. And for our first Italian retreat 2 years ago, we took the crew to Damanhur and we slept in the temples before we went to the retreat. Cool. And my son Trapper bought me this pen, and I have this special pen that was designed by Falco, the founder, and it's a pen for channeling. It's supposed to open your channel to your soul. So yes, in the morning, every morning when I wake up very early, I have 3 cups of pu'er tea, and I will keep that pen near me. And not every day, but in certain times, I channel messages from my soul to myself with that, through
kind
that
of like
pen.
Morning Pages-ish?
Kind of ish, yeah.
Cool, love that. Okay, what is your greatest lesson on relationships?
Lesson or knowledge or whatever?
Lesson,
Okay.
advice, whatever.
Communication is key. You got to communicate.
And greatest lesson on family? Similar, probably. Communication seems like it would be a good one.
Just, each being is a divine design and is honored and loved that way.
I love that. What do you think happens when we die? Where are you with that today?
What happens when we die is a multitude of outcomes. It depends on the person, their consciousness, what their belief system is, what their lineage is, what their plan is. But there is no death. So life goes on. And that's where I am.
What are you most looking forward to in your life?
Fully embodying the divine feminine.
How do you prevent / handle stress if it comes up?
Yoga.
Nice. Okay, this is one that's kind of fun, and it's really just a way for you to recommend things. So you're trapped on a deserted island, and you can only bring with you one music, song, or artist, something, one movie, one TV show, one food, and one person. So
those are them.
Those are the
Okay, I would bring Grizzly Bear, their latest album.
Music.
Yeah.
Cool. I saw them once.
You did. And actually also Feist. Sorry, can I bring two?
Yeah, of course.
And Feist, her latest album, Pleasure. I would bring both of those. I would bring Band-Aid, my friend Zoe and Daryl's movie. Seriously, it's really funny. It is really funny. Cool. Okay, so that's music, food. Now what?
No, you didn't say food.
Oh, I didn't say food. Music, movie.
Yeah, so what would you bring?
Food, I would take my food, my cheese.
Nice.
And what was the other one? Person?
Person and TV show if you have one.
Person is Ritual, and TV show is The OA.
Oh, I still haven't watched it yet.
Oh my gosh.
So many people have recommended that when I say
so
that question.
Good.
I just haven't had time.
Oh, you have to have time. It's really good. It's really great.
Okay, so the podcast name, since you last came on the show, has changed.
Yes.
And it is now called Let It Out.
Yeah.
So when I offer that term to you, to let it out, what do you feel like you still need to let out? Do you feel like I wrung you dry for all your Julie Pyatt wisdom? Anything you wish I would have asked you?
I think that what I do want to say is about the book. I don't think we talked about the book that much, but which is great. But I would say that the creamy, tangy, cheesy taste that you achieve with the recipes in this Cheese is Nuts will literally blow your mind. You are not going to believe what you can do. And please don't think that it's really, really difficult. So
yeah, I'm glad you're saying that.
If you're interested in spiritual transformation and you want to cultivate that, listen to my podcast, Divine Throughline. I have now 91 episodes.
I'll put all the links.
Yeah, so you could do that. And I don't know. I think that's it. I think we need to eat.
Yes.
All right, that's the episode with Julie Pyatt. I hope you liked it. Check out her book. Check out her book tour if she's coming to a city near you. She's a delight. She gives great hugs and she makes great food. All right, thank you, Kara, for sponsoring the podcast. I love you. I love your supplements. I think you're great. Go to takecareof.com if you want to try them out and see for yourself if they're great. And take the quiz. The quiz is great. I actually took the quiz and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just find out what I need and then I can just go buy them in the store on my own. However, I realized I actually save money if I have Care of do it for me, and the packaging's really cute. So use my code Katie at checkout for 50% off, and check out our new sponsor, L-Box. They're great. 100% organic cotton, no toxins, no dyes, no synthetic materials. Also, they give you comfort items. Also, there's the first period box. They're great. Check them out. Make sure you use the link in the show notes. All right, that's all we have for this week. The emoji, I think, is pretty obvious this week. It's a backpack. There's a backpack emoji. It's blue or it's
red.
It's a red backpack.
Should be yellow.
Should be yellow. My backpack is yellow, but we found it, so, you know, we don't need to find that one anymore. Anyway, if you're still listening right now, you're a goddamn saint. So tweet at me the red backpack and put it on Instagram. Let's hang out on all of social media. I'm at Katie Dalebout, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Love you. Bye.
Bye.